Chapter 5501. What the hell is going on? Who did this? Violet Shade's expression turned ugly. He furrowed his brows. He waved his hand, formed a hand seal, and slammed it forward. With one strike he shattered his opponent. A huge stone tablet collapsed with a loud crash, turning into a crack. However, it was useless. The shattered stone tablet slowly gathered together. The rubble danced in the air again, forming a huge stone tablet that stood tall in front of him. The stone tablet was like a forest that stretched as far as the eye could see. Violet Shade's brows were tightly knit together. This was a formation. Furthermore, it was a formation formed by combining all of the spirit veins under the ground. Who the hell is this? You actually have such attainments in array formations. This is truly beyond his expectations. Even if he was a Triple Crown champion, he could not be compared to Yi Qingyu in terms of formations. It seemed that he would need to use all his strength to break this formation. However, at that moment, a cold snort sounded between heaven and earth. There was even an eye that appeared in the 9 heavens. It was an illusion of an eye with the runes of reincarnation on it, blooming with a mysterious light. At the same time, a cold voice sounded. You can't escape. Damn it, that's that kid's voice. Violet Shade's expression turned ugly when he heard that and saw the eye in the sky. It was Lin Wudy. Lin Wudy had come to kill him. His opponent had no intention of letting him go. He gritted his teeth. Damn it! He roared, turned around and left. He was seriously injured and was no match for his opponent. He had to escape. At the same time, he formed a hand seal and sent a message to the Violet Mansion for help. Everyone in the Violet Mansion, come out and stop Lin Wudy with all your might. The Violet Mansion. Everyone was waiting, but they were not in a hurry. This was the Triple Crown Champion's attack. It was terrifying and absolutely foolproof. They were only waiting for news of victory. However, at that moment, the sound of a bell rang from the depths of the Violet Mansion, reverberating through the 9 heavens. Everyone looked up at the sky. The elders also stepped forward, their faces solemn. What's going on? The sound of the bell was only heard when there was a great emergency. Who was the one who triggered the bell? Just as they were feeling puzzled, a roar came from the sky. Zifu! Everyone listen to my orders. Move out and stop Lin Wudy. This was the voice of the Triple Crown winner. What's going on? Why was the Triple Crown champion so exasperated? What happened? Is Lin Wudy back? Did it fight the Triple Crown champion? Is he not dead? Everyone was stunned. The 3 Supreme Elders also walked out, and their expressions were extremely ugly. Could it be that Lin Wudy was chasing the Triple Crown King? Although they didn't quite believe it, that was what they had analyzed from the sentence. How could this be? What exactly happened? How could the Triple Crown champion lose? Could it be that Lin Wudy had brought back a few monarch weapons? If that was the case, then it would be dangerous. This Lin Wudy was too despicable. Fight him one-on-one if you have the ability. Many people gritted their teeth. The Taishang elder walked out and said, Everyone listen up. Assemble the troops and set off to intercept Lin Wudy. At the same time, they were searching for the whereabouts of the Purple Mansion Lord. The Purple Mansion's potentate had also gone to the Dragon Emperor's tomb. Now that Lin Wudy was back, where was the potentate? One had to know that only an extreme-grade weapon could save his life. The people of the Purple Mansion moved quickly. One by one, the elders, the young geniuses, and even some people on the boat all flew up. Qin Xianer also received the order. She also heard the voice. She was shocked. Lin Xian was back and he was fine. It seemed that he was still chasing the Triple Crown champion. How amazing! She didn't know what cultivation level Lin Xian had reached, but she was relieved that Lin Xian wasn't in danger. As for intercepting Lin Xian, he wasn't interested. He turned around and left. Elder, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling well. With that, he rose into the air and chose to go into seclusion. What was wrong with Qin Xianer? Some elders frowned. A supreme elder said, "Ignore him. Our business is more important. Let's go." Two supreme elders oversaw the situation. One supreme elder led countless experts into the air. Apart from the supreme elders, there were also some extremely terrifying core elders. There were also some descendants and geniuses. They all moved out with many powerful, sacred weapons. There were also formations. This time, it could be said that they covered the sky and earth. They just needed to stop Lin Wuti. Lin Xian chased from behind. Not long after, he saw the people of the Purple Mansion charging over. Lin Wuti died. 130 formations appeared in the sky, covering the sky and earth, enveloping Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Stupid ants, do you think you can kill me like this?" He punched out, turning into an ancient golden crow. The flames on it directly penetrated the formations. 130 formations were instantly destroyed. Dozens of Violet Palace realm experts were also turned into ashes by this punch. They didn't even have time to scream before they vanished into thin air. Even until their deaths, they couldn't believe that Lin Wuti had such power. They had underestimated him. Next, several teams came to intercept Lin Wuti. They were all killed by Lin Wuti. They either used terrifying divine flames to burn them. They either slashed them with a sword or used the heavens battle map to envelop them. Wherever he passed, no one could stop him. Between heaven and earth, countless seas of blood gathered, and it even rained blood. It couldn't be helped. These people of the Purple Mansion were ants in Lin Xian's eyes, but in the eyes of others they were still experts. So many experts and geniuses were dying. At this moment, it was as if the world was ending. The people of Buried Earth Star looked up at the sky. Looking at this phenomenon, their scalps went numb. In a mountain range, a group of people stood. The leader was an old man. He was the fifth elder of the Purple Mansion. He had 3 successors and 72 top-notch geniuses by his side. In addition, there were more than 500 experts. They had 300 formations in their hands. There were also 16 terrifying sacred weapons. In addition, each of them had many Dharma treasures in their hands. Such a team covered the sky and earth. They were definitely extremely powerful. As long as Lin Wuti dared to come here, they would be able to stop him. They would even be able to send him to hell. A genius in blue armor asked, what was going on with Elder Zhang? Why did the Triple Crown champion ask for help? That's right. Could it be that he was being hunted down by Lin Wuti? Impossible. Another middle-aged man in a Taoist robe said, something must have happened that we didn't expect. Otherwise, with Lin Wuti's strength, how could he fight against the Triple Crown champion? One had to know that even a light-shaking realm cultivator was defeated in one move. Lin Wuti was stronger than sunlight. After 3 moves, he would definitely die. No matter what, they had to stop Lin Wuti. The 5th elder in front of them said. An extremely terrifying light flashed in his eyes. Suddenly, a biting cold aura came from the front. Then, countless saber lights flashed, and a wild saber slashed down. The genius in blue armor said, it's the heavenly saber formation that we set up. Someone had entered. It should be Lin Wuti. Chapter 5502. Lin Wuti had come, and he had come so quickly. It was beyond their expectations. The middle-aged man sneered. Lin Wuti was a fool. He would definitely die if he entered the Heavenly Blade Formation. The people around them were overjoyed. The Heavenly Blade Formation was an extremely terrifying killing formation. There were 30 million streaks of blade energy inside, and it could be condensed to summon the Heavenly Blade. A divine blade would descend from the sky and kill a powerful enemy within the formation. It was a peerless killing formation. Lin Wuti would be severely injured if he didn't die. They laughed smugly. However, an even more terrifying sound came from the front. 30 million streaks of blade energy were blasted away in an instant. The heavenly blade that descended from the sky was sent flying by a punch. Cracks appeared on the heavenly blade, spreading like a spider web. Then, with a crack, the heavenly blade fell to the ground. The shattered blades pierced through the 9 heavens and 10 lands, and the surrounding mountains were also cut open. The ground cracked, and countless cracks appeared. The people around them were stunned when they saw this. How was this possible? That kid broke the heavenly blade formation. The genius in armor shook his head frantically. That was the heavenly blade formation, a peerless killing formation. He died the moment he entered. Even if their team wanted to break through, it would still take some time. But now, in the blink of an eye, the other party broke it open. What was going on? Could it be that Lin Wudy had come here with an extreme weapon? Thinking of this, their faces turned ugly. The 5th elder shouted angrily, "Calm down! I don't feel the aura of an extreme weapon." That was why he didn't use an extreme weapon. But they didn't know what it was. Let's go take a look. Hearing that it wasn't an extreme weapon, the people around them heaved a sigh of relief. They rose into the air and followed the 5th elder forward. They were very fast and arrived in front of him in an instant. The peerless killing formation that was set up between the hundreds of mountains in front of them was broken. The surrounding blade energy was dim, and there were countless fragments on the ground. There were cracks in the sky. Amidst the ruins, there was a figure standing there. It was a figure surrounded by divine flames. He stood there completely unscathed. However, everything around him had been completely destroyed. When the Violet Palace realm experts saw this scene, they sucked in a breath of cold air. This was Lin Wudy. They stared fixedly at the figure below. At the same time, the flaming figure below lifted its head. There was an extremely terrifying light of reincarnation flickering in his eyes. Just by relying on you bunch of ants? Was there no one else in the Purple Mansion? As he spoke, the power of reincarnation suddenly erupted, forming an eye of reincarnation in the sky. A palm stretched out from the pupil. Heavenly Tao of reincarnation, hand of heaven. Boom, the palm of the heavenly Tao descended, mercilessly crushing these people. In an instant, hundreds of Violet Palace realm experts were annihilated. Some of the top geniuses and core elders were also sent flying while coughing up blood. This is Lin Wudy's Rinnegan. They screamed crazily. Why do I feel that the other party's Rinnegan is much stronger than before? It was definitely more than 10 times. Most of the elites they had brought with them had been destroyed. Only a small number of extremely powerful people survived. Run! Run! The purple-armored genius stood up, turned around, and ran. On the other side, the middle-aged man in Taoist robes was also pale with fright. They no longer cared about anything else. However, at this moment, they found that the void had split open, and the entire sky had been split in half. They lowered their heads and found that their bodies had also split open. Sacred blood danced in the sky, sweeping through the 9 heavens. They were split open by a sword. They were dead. At this moment, only the 5th elder was left. The 5th elder's body trembled. He fell to his knees with a plop. What kind of power was this? A few days ago, he had seen this kind of power on the Triple Crown King. At that time, it had shocked him and made him unable to stop it. However, he did not expect that he would sense it on Lin Xian's body again. His face was filled with despair. You've broken through to become the Triple Crown King. Lin Xian walked over and pierced the 5th elder's glabella with his sword. He grabbed the 5th elder's soul and pressed it to the ground. He said coldly, "That's right. As the Triple Crown King, I should suppress everything in the world." Humph. He exerted force in his palm and tore the 5th elder's soul into pieces. This powerful troop vanished into thin air in an instant. Lin Xian waved his hand, and divine fire filled the sky, turning everything into ashes. At the same time, he stomped his foot and soared into the sky. Next, the team led by the 8th elder was destroyed, and the team led by the 11th elder was instantly destroyed. The team led by the 15th elder was destroyed. One by one, The powerful geniuses and elders were destroyed. At this moment, the entire burial earth was shrouded in a sea of blood. The monstrous aura made countless people kneel on the ground. In the purple mansion, the two supreme elders were guarding. They prevented others from launching a sneak attack. At this moment, the array formation was activated. They waited nervously. "Do you think you can stop Lin Wudy?" the blue-clothed elder asked. The red-haired elder said, "It should be possible. This time, we've sent out most of our forces." The two supreme elders were discussing in a low voice. Suddenly, their expressions changed, because there was a pagoda above the 9 heavens. There were many jade pendants in this pagoda. They were the sole jade pendants of those powerhouses. But at this moment, the sole jade pendants in the pagoda were shattering crazily. It wasn't just one. They were shattering together. Every time, 500 soul jade pendants cracked at the same time. This caused the two grand elders to fall into despair. They soared into the air and arrived at the soul pagoda. Their faces were filled with horror. Damn it! What was happening? The fifth elder's soul jade pendant had shattered. The 500 powerhouses with him had also shattered. On the other side, the team led by the eighth elder had also shattered. The two supreme elders were dumbfounded when they heard the news. Could it be that these people had all fallen? They couldn't imagine. One had to know how terrifying these elders were. Plus, they had brought a lot of people with them. There were hundreds of arrays. There were also dozens of sacred weapons. With so many forces, they could definitely destroy everything. No matter how strong Lin Wudy was, he was only a double champion. Why was he so terrifying? Could it be that Lin Wudy had brought the entire Divine Union's forces here? They didn't know. At the same time, the people of the Yuanguang continent went crazy. This apocalyptic scene terrified them. They started to collect information. When the news came back, they were dumbfounded, especially those in wholly distant ancient city. They were all shocked. When they learned that a genius from the Z government had died in the 9 heavens, they were all stunned. Lin Xian wanted to destroy the entire world with his strength alone. Lin Wudy was so terrifying. At the same time, another piece of news came out. The two supreme elders of the Purple Mansion sect had joined forces to send out a message. Whoever could stop Lin Wudy would obtain the Purple Mansion sect's supreme secret manual. Chapter 5503. The Purple Mansion had many ancient techniques and divine powers. The fact that the Purple Mansion was willing to take out 10 Archean lost arts shocked countless people. Some people's eyes turned red in an instant. One Archean lost art could make a warrior rise in an instant, and it could even make a family powerful. Even the remote antiquity families couldn't accept 10 Archean lost arts. They would definitely be jealous. However, the people in Ancient City didn't dare to accept it at all. They knew how powerful Lin Wudy was. This was the Triple Crown champion. His strength made them despair. Even the entire Alcade continent was stunned by the scene of destruction. Looking at the sea of blood in the sky, these people shook their heads crazily. However, this time the Purple Mansion spread the news to all corners of the world. In addition to the Alcade continent, there were other continents and terrifying oceans. There were also experts among them. Therefore, when these people heard the news, their eyes shone with a piercing light. If they could stop Lin Wudy, they could get the Archean lost arts. It was a great thing. Who was Lin Wudy? Was he the first in the dragon transformation station? Although he was powerful, he was only one person. Let's gather more experts, not kill him. It wouldn't be a problem to stop him for half a month. These people were full of confidence and soared into the sky. They all flew towards the Alcade continent. For a moment, the Alcade continent was filled with a supreme aura. Everyone was nervous. They didn't know what would happen next. The St. Cloud Mountains. This was a very famous place on the Alcade continent because a great battle had taken place here 30,000 years ago. The two sides of the battle were extremely terrifying. There was only one person on one side, a saint called Shao Qinyan. He was extremely terrifying. His opponents were the 8 remote antiquity families. That battle was earth-shattering and mountains and rivers were shattered. In the end, Shao Qinyan died in this mountain range, and the 8 remote antiquity families were also severely injured. This mountain range was called the St. Cloud Mountains by later generations, indicating the fall of a powerful saint. This time, the St. Cloud Mountains were lively again. This time, it wasn't just the 8 remote antiquity families. At least 80 sects were gathered here. They had no choice. This time, they came for the 10 Archean lost arts. After hearing the news from the Purple Mansion, these people came one after another. They gathered in the St. Cloud Mountains. Among them, there was the extremely terrifying ghost family from the Nether Sky continent. There was also the Xianjian sect from the Xiantian continent. There was also the Demon Shark clan from the Demon Sea. In short, there were a lot of experts, far more than the lineup of 30,000 years ago. The experts from the Xianjian sect shook their heads. 30,000 years ago, Shao Qinyan had offended the 8 great sects and lost his life here. There were at least 80 sects here this time. So what if Lin Wudi was strong? Today was the day of his death. There was no way he could cross the St. Cloud mountain range. The experts of the Demon Shark clan also snorted coldly. They brought the Black Sea with them, engulfing the 9 heavens. The other people's expressions were similarly cold. As long as they could stop the other party, they would be able to do so. Then he could ask the Purple Mansion for 10 Archean secret techniques. These people were wary of each other and stopped at different peaks. After waiting for a day, they opened their eyes. It was because they sensed an aura coming from up ahead. Was Lin Wudi here? The Purple Mansion sect was also a top-notch sect. The fact that they had been so frightened that they had even asked for help meant that Lin Wudi might have brought the entire Divine Union's power with him. How could these sects not know about the legends of the Divine Union and Lin Wudi? That was why so many of them had teamed up to wait at the St. Cloud mountain range. However, they were stunned when they saw that there was only one person who had broken through the void. There was only one person. How could this be? Were the others hiding? These people used their powerful eye techniques to see through the heavens and the earth. Their terrifying souls covered the sky. However, they realized that there was no one hiding. There was only one person. Was Lin Wudi here alone? These people were stunned. Soon, the Demon Shark clan laughed heartily. Great, the heavens are on our side. It would be easy for us to stop him if there was only one person. That was, they would join forces to stop Lin Wudi. These people started to move. At the same time, those at the front attacked even faster. For example, there were the giant Python clan. These huge pythons were tens of thousands of meters long and covered the sky. They were like heavenly blades, blocking the front. At the same time, there were the Fire Crow clan. Flames swept across the sky and turned into a sea of fire. On the other side, the One-Horned Mantis clan and the terrifying Ghost clan all moved out. Boom! Boom! A great battle broke out in an instant. It was earth-shattering, as if 100,000 thunderbolts had sounded at the same time. The tremors caused the surrounding mountains to shatter. Everyone watched with rapt attention. They all had confident smiles on their faces. With so many of them attacking together, it would be easy to stop the other party. However, at this moment, a scream came from the front. Then, everyone saw a bloody light shoot into the sky, turning into a sea of blood. Damn it, what happened? The surrounding people were all stunned. Not long after, another shocking power came. Flames swept across the sky, followed by the flash of a blade. A terrifying yin and yang aura erupted. Soon a few people fled back. Their bodies were broken and stained with blood. Oh no! The giant Python clan was annihilated. The Fire Crow clan's people were reduced to ashes, while the Nether Ghost clan's people were completely dead. News came one after another. The people waiting at the back were dumbfounded. They stopped smiling and roared crazily. What did you say? The giant python clan had sent out 149 experts. Each of the pythons was tens of thousands of meters long. They had swept across the world, but now they were all dead. The Fire Crow clan had a total of 300 experts. Their combined sea of fire was something that fiend gods could hardly resist. Now they had turned into ashes, and the Ghost clan, who were extremely strange assassins, had fallen in hell? How was this possible? These people could not believe it. Who was it? Was it Lin Woody? How could he be so powerful? These people's faces were ugly. The Demon Shark clan snorted. So what if it was Lin Woody? Lin Woody was the first in the dragon transformation station. He was a top-tier double champion. It was not surprising that he had such strength. However, no matter how strong he was, could he fight against all of them? Although we lost some of our clans and sects, most of us are still intact. With us standing here, he will definitely not be able to get through. Yes, that's right. The people of Xianjian sect nodded. The other experts' eyes also shone with a cold light. Shocking laws rushed out of their bodies, and terrifying formations condensed. They formed 99 formations and charged forward together. 99 killing formations, containing all kinds of laws, exploded together. The sacred leader would definitely die. No matter how strong Lin Woody was, he would not be able to resist. Chapter 5504. This time, everyone was very confident. This was because the power of the array formation this time was much stronger than the heavenly blade array from before. This time, Lin Woody would definitely not be able to rush out. In front of them, the laws kept flashing, and endless rumbling sounds could be heard. But soon they were dumbfounded, because they found that the array in front of them was constantly breaking. An array of sword chi was like a divine dragon. It swept in all directions. Wherever it passed, everything was broken. Nothing could stop it. What was that? How could it be so terrifying? The surrounding people exclaimed. People like the Xianjian sect and the Demon Shark clan were even more shocked. That was Lin Woody. How could he tear these arrays apart? These people were dumbfounded. Lin Xian's sword chi was monstrous, and his eyes were filled with endless coldness. To be honest, he was very angry. Those who stopped him before were from the Purple Mansion. He was the enemy of the Purple Mansion, so it was reasonable for them to attack him. But now was not the time. Lin Xian could see that these sects were not from the Purple Mansion, but they came to stop him. This was intolerable. His expression was cold. When I was fighting with the Purple Mansion, you didn't help each other, so I didn't blame you. But you just had to help the Purple Mansion and be my enemy. Since that's the case, you can go to hell. Lin Xian's sword chi was even more terrifying. It was as if he had turned into a peerless sword god, shooting straight into the sky. At the same time, the array around him kept breaking, and nothing could stop him. This sword caused heaven and earth to collapse. Lin Xian was like a god, standing above the 9 heavens. When the people in the distance saw this, they were all dumbfounded. God, that's Lin Woody. Damn it, what's going on? How is he still alive? Why do I see that he's not injured? This is impossible. These people were stunned. They knew that Lin Woody was powerful, and he was the first in the dragon transformation stage. The terrifying double champion. No one was his opponent in a one-on-one fight. But this time, they were not fighting one-on-one. There were so many of them. How could they not defeat him? Is this really Lin Woody? He is definitely a young great emperor. Previously, these people only knew of Lin Woody's reputation. Now that they saw his true strength, they were extremely regretful. If they had known that the other party was so terrifying, they wouldn't have dared to come even if they were beaten to death. 10 archaic cultivation methods. Although they were tempted, it was nothing compared to their lives. Damn it, let's hurry up and leave. Some people already wanted to retreat. There were also people who gnashed their teeth. Damn it, I knew it. How could the Z government be so kind? Lin Wuti had become even more powerful than when he was at Hua Longzhan's side after giving him 10 immemorial cultivation techniques. I guessed that Zifu must not be able to defeat Lin Wuti, so he resorted to this method. Are you using us as a shield? Damn it, we were tricked by the Z Mansion. These people were all experts, and they reacted in an instant. They had indeed made the wrong decision this time. Let's go quickly. These people wanted to escape. There was also an elder whose eyes were filled with despair. He said, "It's too late. We're already on the Z government's side. We're enemies with Lin Wuti. Don't you know what kind of person Lin Wuti is? None of his enemies have a good ending. Think about the Dragon Prince. Think about those people from the Z government. Everyone's scalps went numb. Indeed, those who went against Lin Xian, whether it was the powerful imperial prince or the terrifying remote antiquity family, none of them could escape unscathed. This time, they were afraid that they were really in danger. The Demon Shark clan clenched their teeth. They snorted coldly. Damn it, so what? Are we going to sit here and wait for death? That's right, with so many experts and sects working together. Even if we can't defeat Lin Wuti, it's definitely not a problem for us to leave. I want to see how powerful the legendary number one of the Dragon Transformation Station is. These people roared crazily. They knew that it was impossible to retreat, so they could only fight. Extremely terrifying laws erupted from these people. Kill! With a roar, these people rushed over. All kinds of laws and divine abilities emerged one after another. There was incomparably terrifying black seawater, monstrous sword chi, terrifying flying swords. There was also a sky full of flames. The battle was very terrifying. In an instant, it enveloped Lin Quanxian. However, Lin Xian waved his arm, and a sword chi cut through the sky, shattered the hell, and split all the attacks. Furthermore, over 100 silhouettes were destroyed by this sword strike. Then Lin Xian was like a sword god, flickering light and passing shadow, killing these experts. The battle had completely erupted, and endless primordial aura spread out. At this moment, the entire forest and mountain range shook violently, so much so that those in the distance were crawling on the ground. What happened? Was there a battle between gods? After the battle, blood stained the sky, and the Holy Cloud mountain range had completely turned into a forbidden land of death. The murderous aura here was monstrous, and no one dared to enter. Even if a divine ancestor came here, he would probably be instantly swallowed by this aura and turned into white bones. In this sea of blood, a figure stepped in the air like a sword god. After leaving this place, his body was murderous, like a god of death. After this person left, some people dared to look from a distance. There were terrifying weapons in the sky that were investigating. Then they gasped. Did you see that? The person who just left seemed to be Lin Wuti. Before the Holy Cloud mountain range, 80 top families and sects from all over the world had gathered. Could it be that they were waiting for Lin Wuti? But now, Lin Wuti had successfully walked out alive, and the others had all turned into a sea of blood. Heavens! Was Lin Wuti really going to dominate the world with his own strength? Hurry! Hurry up and spread the word. Go back to your family and don't provoke Lin Wuti. Was he really invincible in the world? This guy would definitely become a true great emperor in the future. At this moment, all those who had investigated the news had left. They all sent the news back to their families. At the same time, the news here spread all over the world. The entire burial planet was shocked. Has Lin Wuti become so strong already? It wasn't that they hadn't seen top geniuses before. For example, the previous crown prince was the possessor of the strongest bloodline. He could make heaven and earth tremble as soon as he appeared. Everyone was in despair. Then there was the double crown prince, and even the triple crown prince, but no one had shocked them as much as Lin Xian. If there was, it would have to be traced back to the past. In every era, there was a kind of young person who rose among the masses and stood above the 9 heavens. Such people were called great emperors. However, great emperors had long disappeared and only existed in legends. It made them forget the power of great emperors. And now, Lin Xian's performance made them feel as if they had seen a group of young great emperors rise. This kid had heaven-defying strength and great opportunities. They couldn't provoke him. At this moment, the leaders of countless families gave orders to their families. They couldn't offend Lin Wuti. Chapter 5505. Lin Wuti had single-handedly defeated countless sects and clans, shocking the entire buried Earth star. At this moment, countless people were terrified. They didn't know how things would develop next. At this moment, Lin Xian had already set foot on the Tianji continent. Above the Tianji continent, an eye of reincarnation appeared, overlooking the common people. At this moment, the clans and sects on the Tianji continent were terrified. It was as if a god was looking down on them. Their clan's secrets seemed to have been seen. Damn it, what was that? It was the Rinnegan. Damn it, it was Lin Wuti. Lin Wuti had actually come to the Tianji continent. Many people were terrified. Some living beings and warriors had already knelt on the ground and prostrated themselves in worship. However, there were also some experts of the older generation who were very angry. Their sects and clans were surrounded by clouds and mist, covering heaven and earth. There were also old roars. Lin Wuti had gone too far. Did he use the Rinnegan to cover the entire continent? What was he trying to do? Was he trying to find out their secrets? Damn it, did he really think they were easy to bully? No one was allowed to find out their clan's secrets. Angry roars sounded one after another, including those of the Qilin clan. The Qilin clan was on the Tianji continent. At this moment, they were also enveloped by the light of reincarnation. As a great emperor clan, they felt as if they were being challenged. At this moment, they were roaring crazily. Should we give Lin Wuti a warning? The Qilin clan's old Qilin said coldly. The others were also gnashing their teeth. However, some people frowned. For example, an elder said, "That's not good. He's not targeting us. He should be targeting the Z Mansion. I heard that he was chasing after the Triple Crown King. We don't have to make a move at this time. Our great emperor weapon isn't here. If that killing god kills his way to our clan, then the gains won't make up for the losses. Damn it, are we going to let him be so arrogant?" Lin Wuti came to the Tianji continent alone. If we don't stand up for him, what will others think of us in the future? Wouldn't it be embarrassing for the great emperor clan? Let's send someone to tell him that he can chase after the Triple Crown King, but he must take the Rinnegan. He can't find out our secrets. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude. That's right. There were still experts in the Qilin clan who nodded. An elder suggested, "Why don't we join forces with some other clans and sects to give him some pressure?" Voices rang out one after another. The people of the Kirin clan moved quickly. At the same time, Lin Xian's Rinnegan floated above his head, and he scanned all directions. He even walked among the mountains and rivers. This time, he was determined to kill the Triple Crown champion. No one could stop him. All of a sudden, he frowned and stopped because he saw flames soaring into the sky ahead of him. The sky was illuminated by the radiance, as if it had turned into a sea of fire. Amidst the flames, a woman descended. This woman was wearing a fiery robe, and her aura was extremely powerful. "Burning incense, it's actually you?" Lin Xian frowned. He knew this person and was no stranger to him. It was the burning of incense. The Double Crown King had awoken from his slumber and had successfully made it into the top 10 of the dragon trial. She could be said to be a top-notch proud daughter of the heavens. It was just that he did not expect her to come at this time. "Are you here to intercept me as well?" Lin Xian's eyes bloomed with extremely cold killing intent. "Burning incense," said Lin Gongzi, "you've misunderstood. I'm not from the Purple Mansion. I'm just here to help someone pass on a message." "Who? What message?" Lin Xian said coldly. "Is there anyone else who wants to help the Purple Mansion?" Burning Incense said in a deep voice. He said, "The Tianji continent is where the Fire Kirin clan resides. Young Master used the Rinnegan to cover the entire continent to investigate. This has already angered the Kirin clan. Although Young Master is not afraid of anything, he does not want to make enemies for no reason. Moreover, this enemy is a great emperor family. Therefore, I want Young Master to take back part of the Rinnegan's gaze, or at least stop investigating the Kirin clan." "You're speaking for the Kirin clan?" Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. There was a shocking light flickering in his eyes. "Burning incense," said, not hiding anything. "The Kirin clan is very optimistic about my bloodline. Moreover, they're preparing to marry me. My talent is above the Kirin sun, but I don't have a shocking bloodline like the Kirin sun. If the two of us marry, the next generation will definitely be the strongest genius." At this point, Burning Incense's eyes flashed with a shocking light. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. "Marriage? It seems that the Kirin clan has given you a lot of benefits. However, how do you know that I'll agree? What if the Triple Crown King runs to the Kirin clan? Won't I not be able to detect him?" "Don't worry, we definitely won't do that." At this time, 3 more figures descended from the sky. They had powerful flames on their bodies as well as Kirin scales. Obviously, they were from the Kirin clan. These people's attitudes were much stronger than Burning Incense's. After all, they were from the great emperor family. They had their own pride. They said coldly, "Lin Wuyi, quickly stop and take back your gaze. Otherwise, don't blame us for being impolite. We didn't immediately take action and only informed you. That's already giving you face. Don't go too far." The 3 of them said coldly. Lin Xian was enraged when he heard that. "Too much?" Lin Xian snorted. "What does it have to do with the Kirin clan that I am chasing after the enemy? You actually jumped out to block my path. I'm already giving you face by not attacking you. Now get lost, or don't blame me for being merciless." Lin Xian was furious. What was his status now? A few Kirin clan geniuses were enough to talk to him. What kind of joke was this? A Kirin clan genius behind him was furious. He took a step forward. "How dare you? Do you know the strength of our great emperor family?" Just as he finished speaking, Lin Xian slashed him with his sword, and the entire ground split into 2. The crack was so deep that one couldn't see the bottom. The other 2 were trembling in fear. Even Burning Incense sucked in a breath of cold air. What else did he want to say? In the end, Lin Xian flicked his finger again, and a ball of flames enveloped the second genius, turning him into ashes. Only the last Kirin clan genius was left. He was so frightened that he fell to his knees. Fear, infinite fear. They were incomparably powerful geniuses in the Kirin clan, but now they were powerless in front of Lin Xian. Lin Xian came in front of them and said coldly, "You don't have the qualifications to talk to me. If you want to talk to me, get the Kirin clan's patriarch to see me." Lin Xian snorted. He rose into the air and continued on his way. This time, not only did he not retract his reincarnation gaze, but he made it even more terrifying. An eye in the sky grew infinitely bigger. It seemed to cover the entire Tianji continent. Behind them, Burning Incense sighed when she saw this. When Lin Xian attacked just now, he also felt a chill down his spine. Lin Xian's greatest achievement was the Triple Crown. This meant that Lin Xian was also a Triple Crown champion. He was an existence that far surpassed him. How could he dare to attack? He could only sigh. To deal with someone like Lin Xian, he could only beg for mercy and bow his head. That seemed to give him a chance. However, if he fought with Lin Xian head-on, it would be over. He would definitely end up in a miserable state. Chapter 5506. The news quickly spread out. When the Kirin race found out that 2 of the 3 geniuses they sent out were killed instantly, they were stunned. Then, many elders were furious. That despicable Lin Wuyi dared to kill their people. He was too arrogant, too despicable. Who did he think he was? Did he really not care about the Emperor race? He wasn't a quasi-emperor yet. He didn't have the right to rule over them. The Kirin race was furious. The other clans and sects on Tianji continent all gasped when they found out. It seemed that this was a vicious person. He didn't even give face to the Kirin race. Since that was the case, the Kirin race wasn't going to hold back. They decided to take revenge. They weren't the only ones. Some of the clans and sects under them also received the order. They gathered their formations and weapons. Some of the clans and sects frowned. Why did they have to offend Lin Wudi? Even some of the Kirin race frowned. They wanted to ask about it. However, they realized that the Kirin race leader had disappeared. Where did he go? Where did their leader go? They didn't know. At that moment, in a mysterious palace on Tianji continent, there were a few figures. The Kirin race leader was among them. He was just one of them. There were a few others. One of them was a lady in purple. She was as beautiful as a fairy. She was the leader of the Purple Mansion. The leader of the Purple Mansion had been fighting against the 10,000 Dragon Court. However, when she received the call for help from the Triple Crown King, she chose to return. Compared to the 10,000 Dragon Court, the Triple Crown King was more important. He was their top expert, and they couldn't allow anything to happen to him. When the leader of the Purple Mansion found out that the Triple Crown King was in Tianji continent, she immediately rushed over. She also met the leader of the Kirin race. The Kirin race didn't want to go against Lin Wudi. However, the leader of the Purple Mansion gave them a condition that they couldn't refuse. After hearing this, the leader of the Fire Kirin race's eyes turned red. She asked, "Can you really send our Kirin race to that place?" The leader of the Purple Mansion nodded and said, "As long as you help us protect the Triple Crown King, I can let your Kirin race go." That's great. The Qilin clan leader was overjoyed. If he could go to that place, then his future achievements would definitely far surpass his current achievements. At the very least, becoming a quasi-emperor would not be a problem. If he was lucky, he might even become a great emperor. Thinking of this, he clenched his fists in excitement. He said, "All right, leave it to us this time." Other than him, there were 3 other figures. 2 of them were experts. One of them had a golden glow on his body, as if he was wearing golden armor. It was the leader of the Golden Armor sect. The Golden Armor Gate was also one of the top sects in the Heavenly Fate continent. Moreover, the Golden Armor Gate's defense was extremely strong. Legend had it that during the Primordial Age, the first-generation leader of the Golden Armor sect had obtained a set of battle armor by chance from the primordial battlefield. Although the armor was broken, the great Tao on it was truly terrifying. The first-generation sect master used this broken armor to develop a set of extremely powerful body refining techniques. Moreover, he had successfully established a peerless sect. One could imagine how powerful their defenses were. The other was from the Spirit Exterminator clan. This was also an ancient clan. They were extremely terrifying and had the means to destroy the world. More importantly, they had the Spirit Exterminator cauldron in their hands. Once enough living beings were destroyed, the power of the Spirit Exterminator cauldron would develop to an extremely terrifying level. Now that the Spirit Exterminator cauldron was extremely powerful, the leader of the Purple Mansion had gathered the people of these 2 sections. He had also promised them many secret manuals. That was why these 2 sects were so tempted. "Leader, please don't worry. This Lin Wudi is powerful, but he is only one person after all. He is not truly invincible. If we were to take action, his plan would definitely not succeed." The leader of the Golden Armor Gate said with a smile. He was very confident in his own defense. Their sect's primordial golden armor was extremely powerful. It was definitely the most powerful of all time. On the other side, the leader of the Spirit Exterminator clan also laughed. "Our Spirit Exterminator cauldron can be used now. Once it was used, although it could not be compared to an extreme Dao weapon. It was definitely the strongest existence below the extreme Dao weapon. Therefore, the Triple Crown King and the leader of the Purple Mansion could rest assured. Hearing this, the leader of the Purple Mansion nodded his head. The Triple Crown King, on the other hand, heaved a sigh of relief. This time his life was not in danger. However, he had indeed lost a lot of face. He was actually hunted down and laughed at by the whole world. He swore that when he returned this time, he would try his best to recover to his peak. When the time came, he would personally kill Lin Wudi. Thinking of this, he took a deep breath and looked at the woman in purple beside him. Was this the current Purple Mansion's mansion lord? To be honest, the Triple Crown King was really shocked. After he woke up, he wanted to personally control the magistrate. However, when he saw this woman, he changed his mind. He immediately changed his mind, because he realized that this woman's origin was really too extraordinary. It was far beyond his imagination. She actually came from that place. No wonder she could become the leader of the Purple Mansion at such a young age. The expert behind her was also an existence that the Triple Crown King looked up to. Therefore, the Triple Crown King immediately gave up on this idea. The leader of the Purple Mansion would naturally do his best to protect him. Since they had formed an alliance, these people began to move quickly. At least, they had to get Lin Wudi out of the Tianji continent. On the other side, Lin Xian was still flying in the air. The Rinnegan on top of his head began to search. He was slowly locking onto his target. He didn't know where this guy was hiding this time. He couldn't find him after such a long time. Beside him, Burning Incense said, "Lin Gongzi, why do you have to be enemies with the Kirin clan? You're not doing this wisely." Lin Xian snorted coldly, "I don't want to be enemies with anyone, but anyone who dares to block my path is my enemy. No matter what clan they are from, or even the Emperor clan, no one can stop me." Lin Xian's eyes were shining with confidence. Burning Incense was also shocked. The current Lin Wudi was more than 10 times stronger than when she saw him in the dragon transformation battle. He even looked up to him. Was the Kirin clan really going to be enemies with such a person? He had a very bad feeling about this. But now that he was on the Kirin clan's side, he couldn't say anything. He could only sigh. At the same time, Lin Xian suddenly sped up. The void where he was standing cracked open. The terrifying array destroyed everything in its path. Lin Xian flew into the air. The golden light in his eyes was even more terrifying. "How dare you attack me? This time, I'll let you feel despair." Chapter 5507. Between heaven and earth, there were countless blood-colored auras that filled the air, turning into terrifying demonic beasts that charged towards Lin Xian. This was a world-destroying formation created by the Spirit Exterminator clan. They had used this formation to destroy one world after another. However, such a formation could not withstand a single blow from Lin Xian. A sharp sword Qi appeared in Lin Xian's hand. He slashed out like a flaming divine sword, turning everything into ashes. Damn it, how is this possible? How can his flames be so terrifying? Is this the Nine Suns' divine fire? Why do I feel that its power is even more terrifying than the legends? In the distance, the elders of the Spirit Exterminator clan, who had created the formation, felt their scalps go numb when they saw this scene. They quickly retreated. However, it was still too late. The terrifying eye of Samsara in the sky looked down. The hand of heaven reached out from the eye of Samsara and smashed it. The souls of those people vanished into thin air. Lin Xian fought his way through, tearing apart hundreds of formations in an instant, and was still attacking. The Spirit Exterminator clan was completely stunned. They could feel that the soul jade pendants of their clan's experts were rapidly shattering. Damn it, what happened? There was a huge mirror above their heads, as if it was the heavenly realm. The scene on the mirror was that endless mountains and rivers were shattered, and the sky was falling and the earth was splitting apart. A figure like a sword god swept out in all directions, stunning the surrounding people. Is this person Linwoody? Is he really so powerful? Our intelligence was wrong. The Spirit Exterminator clan roared crazily. In fact, they were not the only ones. The Golden Armor sect and the Kirin clan also saw the contents of the formation. Their expressions were also extremely solemn. At this moment, the Kirin clan leader said in a deep voice, "Since this was the case, let's use some special means. Use the legendary divine weapons. 12 legendary divine weapons can form a super divine weapon formation. I don't think this kid can withstand it." Hearing this, the surrounding people nodded one after another. The Kirin clan took out 8 legendary divine weapons. The remaining ones were taken out by the Golden Armor sect and the Spirit Exterminator clan. 12 legendary divine weapons condensed in the air. They emitted an extremely terrifying light and then shrouded Lin Xian. These legendary divine weapons were extremely terrifying, far surpassing ordinary divine weapons. They were the top existences below the extreme divine weapons. At this moment, they attacked together. The momentum was extremely terrifying. Boom! Lin Xian was instantly shrouded. He furrowed his brows when he sensed the information contained on it. He did not care about one legendary divine weapon, but 12 at the same time. It was a threat to him. But so what? It was just a threat. It was still impossible for him to kill him. Boundless laws exploded in the sky as the 12 sacred weapons were activated at the same time, instantly shrouded heaven and earth. Endless rumbling, sound spread out in all directions. At this moment, everyone raised their heads to look at the sky. They were all shocked. Was he hit? When Burning Incense saw this scene, he too sucked in a cold breath. To be honest, no matter how strong Lin Xian was, he would still be helpless in the face of such an attack. The other clans and sects sighed. At the same time, in the mysterious hall, the members of the 3 great clans smirked when they saw this. The Spirit Exterminator clan said that they had hit him. The Golden Armor tribe said that even the Golden Armor tribe would not be able to withstand such an attack. No matter how strong Linwoody was, he would definitely die. The Kirin clan said that this was for sure. This was the outcome of going against them. Was he dead? The Triple Crown King snorted. Although he had not taken care of it himself, he had finally gotten rid of a major threat. Once he recovered his strength, he would personally deal with the Divine Union. He would not let go of anyone related to Lin Xian. News of this matter spread to other places. Some people sighed. Was Linwoody really going to die just like that? That was not very likely. Linwoody was extremely terrifying. He did not take out an extreme divine weapon. He should not be able to withstand it. When the news spread to the Divine Union, the members of the Divine Union were also nervous. However, Yen Ryu said, "Don't worry, they can't do anything to Lin Xian yet." She had unlimited confidence in Lin Xian. At this moment, everyone on the Tibetan Earth Star was talking about it. In the Purple Mansion, the Kirin clan laughed. Their peerless enemy was finally dead. However, their smiles soon froze. Among the sacred weapons in the sky, a sword aura turned into a dragon and rushed into the sky. Then it bared its fangs and claws and tore the sky apart. Lin Xian rose into the sky and stepped on thousands of dragons. He was extremely powerful. What was going on? That was Linwoody. He was not dead yet. This was impossible. Could it be that 12 legendary saint weapons were not enough to kill him? The members of the 3 great clans were dumbfounded. The face of the Purple Mansion's mansion lord also became extremely ugly. He said, "Hurry up and use your ultimate skills. Take out the Spirit Exterminating Cauldron." He had a bad feeling. However, it was too late. Before these people could take action, a dragon-shaped sword shadow appeared in the void. Lin Xian put his palms together and raised the 9 heaven cicada. With a roar, the dragons in the sky roared. At this moment, heaven and earth shattered. The 12 sacred weapons were sent flying by the sword. In fact, half of them had already cracked and turned into scrap metal. No, damn it, how could it be like this? The Kirin clan roared crazily. However, it was not over yet. Another sword slashed out, and the remaining half turned into scrap metal. The 12 sacred weapons were all shattered. They had never seen such an attack power. The Golden Armor sect and the World Destruction clan's eyes were about to pop out. These people's hearts were bleeding. Sacred weapons were not cabbages that could be found anywhere. They were passed down from the most powerful saints, and only after countless years of forging would they become sacred weapons. They were treasures that could only be condensed over time. But now they had lost so many. Their hearts ached. The Triple Crown King's face turned cold. He stared at the dragon-shaped sword shadow. Was this the dragon sword soul? This kind of attack power made him extremely jealous. The Purple Mansion's master took a deep breath and said, "Everyone, bring out your strongest attacks." The Spirit Exterminating Cauldron and the Immemorial Armor had to be used. Otherwise, it would be difficult to stop this kid. He had interacted with Lin Xian many times. Naturally, he knew that it would not be easy to kill him. The Kirin clan gritted their teeth. Damn it, if our extreme Dao weapons were here, we would be able to kill him directly. Although that was the case, everyone shook their heads and sighed. The Kirin clan's extreme Dao weapons were still attacking the 10,000 Dragons' Court. They could not take it back. Therefore, they could only think of another way. On the other side, Lin Xian retracted his sword chi. His eyes flashed with a shocking light, because he had found the location of the Triple Crown King. In the next moment, his body flashed, and he flew towards that place. Chapter 5508. Inside the hall, the Triple Crown King and the others were still discussing. Suddenly, the entire hall shook violently as it was torn apart by a sword. The sunlight from the outside shone in. At the same time, a terrifying aura filled the hall, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. Oh no, the other party had actually attacked. What a fast speed! The Triple Crown King's pupils constricted. He looked up at the sky and saw a godlike figure. He was standing in the sky. Lin Xian looked down and said coldly, "Ziming, even if you run to the ends of the earth, you won't be able to escape from me." His eyes were filled with killing intent. Ziming had actually dared to attack the Divine Union and injure Yenryu and the others. He had definitely touched Lin Xian's reverse scale. Therefore, Lin Xian had no intention of letting Ziming off. The Triple Crown King gritted his teeth. "Despicable brat, don't be so arrogant." The Purple Mansion Master also stood up. "Lin Wuti, I won't let you kill him." "You." Lin Xian looked at the Purple Mansion Master and shook his head with a cold smile. "You don't have the right to say such words. You don't have the right to be arrogant in front of me." The Purple Mansion Master was so angry that he trembled. His beautiful face was filled with coldness. He snorted and sent out a palm strike. His palm turned into a purple cloud that enveloped Lin Xian. Lin Xian waved his hand and sent out a golden crow that shattered the purple cloud. Then he stomped his foot. A terrifying flame aura filled the air and forced the Purple Mansion Master to retreat. The Purple Mansion Master spat out a mouthful of blood, his face pale. Damn it, this guy's strength was so terrifying. He was even more terrifying than the Triple Crown King. He had even surpassed him. Now he finally knew why the Triple Crown King was being hunted. Only a quasi-emperor could suppress such a person. The Spiritual Annihilation Patriarch and the Golden Armor Alliance leader were also shocked. Was this young man the legendary Lin Wuti? He was indeed powerful. They looked as if they were facing a great enemy. Lin Xian looked at the two of them and said, "I'll give you a chance to live. Kneel down and submit, and I'll spare your lives." Hearing this, the two experts were instantly enraged. They were both top-notch overlords who could dominate an area. Now a young man actually wanted them to kneel down and submit. How could they tolerate this? The spiritual Slayer clan's leader scoffed coldly. Brat, you are too arrogant. When I swept through the world, you weren't even born yet. On the other side, the leader of the Golden Armor Gate also stood up. I also want to see what you, Linwoody, are capable of. Humph. I've already given you a chance, but you didn't cherish it. Since that's the case, don't blame me. Lin Xian coldly snorted. He clenched his hand into a fist and punched out. His fist pierced through heaven and earth. Then, he charged at the patriarch of the Soulslayer clan. The patriarch of the Soul-Slaying clan bellowed. Spirit Extermination Divine Fist. His fist also struck out. This was a blood-colored fist that carried the resentment of countless creatures as it swept through heaven and earth. His fist collided with his opponent's. With a cracking sound, the Spirit Extermination Patriarch was sent flying backward. Half of his palm had turned into blood mist. The other half of his body was covered in cracks as he fell into the ruins. He couldn't believe it. Lin Wudy actually injured him with a single punch. Trash, he couldn't even withstand a single blow. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Then he looked at the leader of the Golden Armor Gate. In the next moment, he formed a seal with his palm. Endless demonic chi formed a demon god seal that slapped forward. With a loud boom, a huge seal crossed the ancient time and space and attacked forward. The leader of the Golden Armor Gate roared. He formed a seal with his palm, and endless mysterious runes gathered on his body, forming a battle armor. The battle armor enlarged and covered his entire body. It's useless. Lin Wudy, you can't break it. This is our golden armor technique. The leader of the Golden Armor Gate was very confident. He wasn't Lin Wudy's opponent in terms of offense, but in terms of defense, Lin Wudy was definitely inferior to him. Boom! The demon god seal hit the golden battle armor, releasing an earth-shattering aura that forced the surrounding people to retreat. They were all nervous, but they realized that it didn't shatter this time. Great, he blocked it. The leader of the Purple Mansion smiled. The Triple Crown King also heaved a sigh of relief. As expected of the Golden Armor Gate, the ancient battle armor was indeed strong. The leader of the Golden Armor Gate also smiled. Did you see that, kid? This is my ultimate technique. Just as he finished speaking, a cracking sound came from heaven and earth. A crack actually appeared on the golden battle armor. No. How could this be? The leader of the Golden Armor Gate's pupils constricted. The others also panicked. Even the golden battle armor couldn't block Lin Xian's attack. Lin Xian used his strength again, and another wave of energy surged out. Break! With a roar that sounded like the roar of 10,000 dragons, it directly tore the golden battle armor apart. The demon god seal hit the leader of the Golden Armor Gate and pierced through her body. In the blink of an eye, the two top experts were severely injured. Lin Xian was like a demon god. He walked forward and stared at the Triple Crown King. Who do you think can save you now? He waved his hand. He slashed forward with his sword. The Triple Crown King roared. Damn it, he also used all his strength to block, and a purple mark appeared. The two collided and he was sent flying. One of his arms was chopped off. The dragon-shaped sword chi in Lin Xian's hand became more and more terrifying. It was as if he had turned into a real sword god. Another sword slashed towards Ziming. Ziming's pupils dilated. He was no match for him at all. He quickly retreated, but his body still cracked. However, at this moment, a huge cauldron appeared between heaven and earth and blocked the sword chi. It protected Ziming. It was a blood-colored cauldron with all kinds of ferocious heads on it. It was extremely terrifying. The Spirit Extermination Cauldron had destroyed countless living beings. The cauldron formed by it was extremely terrifying. Lin Wudy, I admit that you're very powerful. I'm not your match with my strength. But you underestimate me too much. Let me tell you the true ultimate technique of the spirit extermination race. The leader of the spirit extermination race walked out again. His broken body had healed, and he held the spirit extermination cauldron in his hand. Confidence was restored in his eyes. Sensing the endless killing intent coming from the spirit extermination cauldron, Lin Xian frowned. What a cruel method. You actually used the power of billions of living beings for yourself. You're unforgivable. The leader of the spirit extermination race sneered. Humph, this world follows the law of the jungle. The strong are respected. I use their power because I think highly of them. They should be proud. And soon, you'll become a member of the spirit extermination cauldron. My power will become even stronger. You! Lin Xian sneered in disdain. How do you know how powerful I am? Damn it, what an arrogant kid. Go to hell. The leader of the spirit extermination race was furious. He couldn't tolerate the other party's insolence. He threw out the spirit extermination cauldron. The blood-colored cauldron swept between heaven and earth, bringing with it a monstrous sea of blood. Endless phantoms appeared on it. There were war gods with broken bodies, destroyed experts, terrifying saints, and angels with broken wings. All kinds of experts were killed by the spirit extermination cauldron. One could imagine how terrifying this cauldron was. Chapter 5509. The monstrous sea of blood surrounded Lin Xian as the spirit extermination cauldron enveloped him. Ha! The spirit extermination patriarch laughed out loud as he looked at Triple Crown King. Don't worry, this kid will definitely die after entering the spirit extermination cauldron. The power of the spirit extermination cauldron definitely exceeded his imagination. Triple Crown King also laughed. She also felt the terror of the spirit extermination cauldron. Even if he encountered it, he would probably be seriously injured if he wanted to escape. Once Lin Wuti was seriously injured, it would be easy for them to kill him with so many people around them. After finally dealing with it, Golden Armor King also walked out. Triple Crown King snorted coldly. Everyone thought that victory was in their hands. However, at this moment, 6 worlds appeared in the endless sea of blood in front of them. 6 paths of reincarnation. A cold and emotionless voice sounded. The 6 paths of reincarnation rotated as if everything was reincarnating. War gods with broken bodies, angels with broken wings, saints with broken wings, and all sorts of powerful beings entered reincarnation at this moment. The sea of blood quickly disappeared and the murderous aura between heaven and earth weakened rapidly. No! Damn it, what was going on? The spirit extermination patriarch's pupils constricted and her expression became extremely ugly. Why was it like this? He felt the power of the spirit extermination cauldron rapidly weakening. What was going on? The Golden Armor Patriarch was also stunned. The Kirin Patriarch's pupils constricted. It was Lin Wuti. This was his 6 paths of reincarnation. Quickly find your spirit extermination cauldron. The spirit extermination patriarch's expression turned ugly. What? 6 paths of reincarnation. It could actually restrain his spirit extermination cauldron. He quickly found it. However, it was already too late. A golden palm reached out and grabbed the spirit extermination cauldron. Then he said, "Don't you think it's too late to leave now?" Lin Xian walked out of the sea of blood. Flames surrounded his body, and the 6 paths of reincarnation surrounded him. He was like a supreme god as a dragon-shaped sword appeared in his right hand. The sword slashed at the spirit extermination cauldron. With a clang, cracks appeared on the spirit extermination cauldron, and it shattered into pieces. This powerful weapon shattered at this moment. The spirit extermination patriarch spat out blood and fell to the ground. His face turned pale. He had been severely injured. Even his soul had split open. The Golden Armor Alliance Master was stunned. while the expressions of Triple Crown King and the others turned ugly. Even the spirit extermination cauldron couldn't do anything to him. The people on the Heavenly Fate continent were even more terrified. They could only feel the endless changes in the aura, but they didn't know what was going on. However, they could feel the aura of the 6 paths of reincarnation, which meant that Lin Wuti was still alive. Moreover, he was incomparably strong. Could it be that no one could suppress him? They did not know. Lin Xian looked at the Triple Crown champion and said, "Who can protect you?" As he spoke, he swung his sword again, splitting Triple Crown champion in half. 3 Crown King. The cracks on his body became even more terrifying. His body was in tatters, moreover difficult to heal. The Triple Crown King had gone mad. He had just woken up and was laughing arrogantly under the heavens, not placing anything in his eyes. But now he was in such a sorry state, like a stray dog. He roared madly, "Golden Armor Sect, take out your immemorial battle armor." The Purple Mansion's Mansion Master also said that he could only rely on him. The leader of the Golden Armor Gate had an ugly look on his face, but he knew that there was nothing he could do. He could only wave his hands. Above the 9 heavens, the nearby void shattered and an ancient battle armor appeared. This ancient battle armor was abnormally simple, and it carried the aura of time. And at a glance, it was full of cracks. Most of these cracks had been repaired, and only a small portion was still in the process of shattering. This was the immemorial battle armor. How many tens of thousands of years had it been repaired to such an extent? However, just the great Tao runes on it allowed the Golden Armor Gate to cultivate to become a supreme body refinement powerhouse. The origin of this battle armor was definitely extraordinary. Lin Wuti, no matter how strong you are, you can't break it. This is the true immemorial battle armor. The leader of the Golden Armor Alliance enlarged the immemorial battle armor and swept across the area. He protected the few of them. With this thing, they were in an invincible position. Block it first. We have to leave this place. The Purple Mansion Master gritted his teeth. They could only block it now, but it was probably impossible to kill Lin Wuti. Damn it. The leader of the Spirit Extermination Clan had an ugly look on her face. She was seriously injured now and couldn't even use half of her strength. What was even more heartbreaking was that the Spirit Extermination Cauldron had actually shattered. It had taken 6,000 years to condense a complete Spirit Extermination Cauldron. This made her heart bleed. Lin Xian looked at the light of the golden armor in front of him and narrowed his eyes. Immemorial battle armor? Do you think I can't kill you just because you're hiding inside? Ziming, you're too naive. I said that no one can save you today. Even if a quasi-emperor comes, I will kill you with my sword. Lin Xian's hands condensed again. He mobilized the power in the sword world. At the same time, he said, "DeLong, erupt." DeLong nodded. With a roar, he absorbed the power in the sword world and roared toward the sky. The dragon-shaped sword shadow in Lin Xian's hand grew larger. It turned into a bottomless ravine. Slash! The flame between Lin Xian's eyebrows jumped, and his divine body bloomed with radiance. He slashed out with his sword. Heaven and earth were completely shattered. This sword slashed on the immemorial battle armor, causing it to shake violently. The blood of the people inside was also surging. The pupils of the Spirit Extermination Clan's leader constricted. How could it be so powerful? The Zifu Mansion Master and the others were also nervous. The Golden Armor Clan's leader originally wanted to say that it was impossible, but the pressure on him was too great. His face was red and he couldn't speak at all. He could only use his power. Block it. He gritted his teeth and shouted angrily. However, Lin Xian fully recovered the great dragon sword soul this time. The power of this sword was really too strong. It was comparable to an extreme Dao attack. Therefore, after holding on for a moment, the immemorial battle armor instantly shattered. It was actually cut open by the sword. The immemorial battle armor turned into tens of thousands of pieces and scattered all over the ground. As for the Golden Armor clan's leader, he was cut in half by the sword. His body and soul were destroyed. The Triple Crown King, Fu Mansion Master, and the others were all injured. They vomited blood and were sent flying. The Golden Armor clan's leader was killed by a single sword strike. Was the immemorial battle armor broken? At this moment, the people of the Golden Armor clan all knelt on the ground. Their faces were filled with despair. It was impossible. The immemorial battle armor was found in the battlefield of the ancient times. It was definitely terrifying, but now it was broken. What was going on? The Spirit Extermination clan's leader was so scared that his scalp went numb. He had seen the immemorial battle armor before, but it couldn't withstand a single sword strike from the other party. What kind of existence did they provoke? His face was filled with despair. Thinking of this, he turned around and fled. He didn't want the secret manual of the Fu Mansion Master anymore. He only wanted to save his life. Lin Xian snorted coldly. How dare you leave? In the sky, the Spirit Extermination clan's leader's body instantly stopped. An expression that was uglier than crying appeared on his face. He turned his head and shook his head crazily. Please spare my life, young master. I've been possessed. I've offended you, young master. I'll definitely respect you in the future. Chapter 5510. Respect me? Lin Xian sneered. There was no need for that. He slashed out again. No. Damn it. I'll fight it out with you. The patriarch roared crazily. She had already lowered her head, but Lin Xian still wouldn't let her go. He used all his strength to resist, but in front of DeLong he was no match at all. With a slash of the sword, she turned into a bloody mist and disappeared. The Kirin Patriarch's eyelids twitched wildly. Even the Purple Mansion Lord gasped. The Triple Crown King's face turned extremely ugly. Lin Xian was too strong. He had a bad feeling about this. Lin Xian stared at the Triple Crown King. Who else can save you now? The Kirin clan or the Purple Mansion Lord? I want to see who dares to go against me. At this moment, Lin Xian was brimming with murderous intent and was extremely domineering. He wanted to let the other party know what despair was. A hint of madness appeared in the Triple Crown King's eyes as he looked at the Kirin Patriarch and the Purple Mansion Lord. The Purple Mansion Lord said, Fellow Taoist Kirin, let's attack together. The Kirin Patriarch nodded. He knew that he had to do this. Taking a deep breath, he roared angrily and turned into a Kirin. He punched out with the Kirin arm. It was as heavy as a mountain. His strength was even more terrifying than the previous Kirin's son. On the other side, the Lord of the Purple Mansion had used 5 different ultimate techniques in a row. They were all lost ultimate techniques. Lin Xian roared at the sky. Good. He clenched his left fist and turned into a sun. The sword in his right hand flew out. The Eye of Reincarnation formed the heavenly Tao of reincarnation. The hand of heaven in the sky kept falling. Lin Xian had single-handedly fought 2 top-tier divine ancestors. The momentum was very shocking. I'm coming too. The Triple Crown King roared angrily and instantly rushed over. He had defeated Lin Xian previously, but he was very strong. At this moment with him, they could definitely suppress everything. Oh no, Lin Wuti is in danger. She wants to fight against 3 people alone. The surrounding people exclaimed. No matter how strong he was, he would not be able to withstand the attacks of these 3 people. Could it be that he was going to be suppressed today? The Triple Crown champion laughed heartily. He felt that he had suppressed Lin Wuti. Brat, today is the day you die. From the looks of it, the other party was not as powerful as he had imagined. If he had known this would happen, he would have joined forces with them. He wouldn't have been so scared before. Just the 3 of you want to suppress me? How laughable! Lin Xian snorted coldly. Suddenly, the heaven-devouring jar appeared in his hand, and he threw it forward. With a boom, the chi of Tao erupted and swept across the 9 heavens. Not good. Qilin Zicheng's expression changed greatly. The pupils of the Triple Crown King and the Purple Mansion Master also shrank. Run quickly. The Triple Crown King turned around and fled, but they were still sent flying by this force. Cracks appeared on his body. At this critical moment, the Purple Mansion Lord roared. He summoned a large cauldron to block the heaven swallowing jar. Dragon pattern tripod. After blocking it, his face turned pale. Triple Crown King heaved a sigh of relief. He gritted his teeth and said, "If you have an extreme grade weapon, why didn't you take it out earlier?" The Purple Mansion Lord snorted coldly. "Shut up. Who told you to attack the Divine Union?" He didn't know what to say either. Previously, when they had attacked the 10,000 Dragon Court, they had used extreme grade weapons many times. They didn't have much strength left. How could they have used an extreme grade weapon right from the start? Besides, if he had taken out his trump card in advance, Lin Wuti would definitely have let the Divine Union attack the Purple Mansion Lord. Hence, he hadn't taken it out at first. Now that he saw Lin Xian use it to make a weapon, he had no choice but to take out the dragon pattern tripod to block. However, it was still considered good. After blocking the heaven-devouring jar, they could leave safely this time. Triple Crown King snorted coldly. "How can you kill me with an extreme grade weapon? When I return, I will take revenge. I definitely won't let you off. I won't let anyone related to you go." Lin Xian's expression was cold. He stared at Triple Crown King. "I can't kill you? How naive. Let me tell you, with an extreme grade weapon, you will definitely die." As he spoke, Lin Xian slashed out again. The dragon awakened and the sword slashed toward heaven and earth. "Not good. Run." The Purple Mansion Lord shouted angrily. He was going crazy. Triple Crown King still dared to provoke his opponent at this time? Did he not know the power of the great dragon sword? No. Triple Crown King was terrified. How could he block this sword? He used all his strength to block it. However, he realized that he couldn't escape from this sword. He was in despair. He couldn't accept this. He hadn't expected his opponent's great dragon sword to be no weaker than an extreme grade weapon. If he had known this, he definitely wouldn't have dared to challenge his opponent. However, there was no chance for regret in this world. With a single slash, he was reduced to ashes. When the shocking sword light disappeared, Triple Crown King was long gone. A pitch-black hole had appeared where he had been standing. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Divine flames flew out and turned into thousands of golden crows. They covered the sky and engulfed the blood, turning it into ashes. Previously, when he had killed the chaotic body, it had benefited the light-shaking realm. This time he wouldn't do the same. He would completely obliterate Triple Crown King's power. No one would be able to obtain it. He was dead. The Purple Mansion Lord was stunned. The Qilin tribe leader was even more terrified. They hadn't expected Lin Xian to be able to kill Triple Crown King under such circumstances. The Qilin tribe leader was filled with regret. Why had he opposed Lin Wuti? The Purple Mansion Lord was even more furious. "You actually killed him." Damn it. Although the Purple Mansion Lord was mysterious, Triple Crown King was still extremely important to them. This time he had just awakened. Was he going to die just like that? He couldn't accept it. He stared at Lin Wuti, his eyes filled with killing intent. Lin Xian said, "You should think about how you're going to survive first, because I have no intention of letting you go." He turned around and stared at the Purple Mansion Lord and the Qilin tribe leader. With a single step, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. The two of them sucked in a breath of cold air. Lin Xian still dared to attack. "Damn it, you don't have much strength left." The Qilin tribe leader howled. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He had used up a lot of strength, but it was enough to kill them. With that, Lin Xian's body swayed. He used Shadowless Heaven's net and instantly appeared in front of the Qilin tribe leader. Shura sword technique. He sent the Chelan tribe leader flying with a single slash. The Chelan tribe leader's body was split in half. He was in a miserable state. Friend, save me. Their family's great emperor weapon had been used to fight the 10,000 dragon court. Now he could only ask for help from the dragon pattern cauldron. The purple mansion lord's face was also ugly. In front of Linwoody, it seemed that even an extreme Dao weapon was useless. Damn it! Has this person grown to such an extent? Lin Xian blocked the dragon pattern cauldron with a sky-devouring jar. Then he looked at the Chelan tribe leader again. The sword intent in his hand was even more terrifying. No, you can't kill me. Do you know who I am? I'm the Chelan tribe leader. I'm the great emperor family's clan leader. If you kill me, you'll become an enemy of the entire Chelan tribe. Let me go, and I promise I won't go against you in the future. How about it? The Chelan tribe leader said quickly. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Is a great emperor family very powerful? It's not like I haven't been an enemy of a great emperor family before. The 10,000 dragon court went against me. What happened to them? Hearing this, the Chelan tribe leader's pupils constricted. There was a trace of despair in his eyes. Chapter 55:11. Sir, please be merciful. At this critical moment, an old voice rang out. Then, a Chelan appeared and turned into an old man. This old man was really old, and the aura on his body was extremely terrifying. His strength was similar to Long Mu's. He was also an existence that had stepped out of the Saint Realm. It seemed that the Emperor race's foundation was indeed extraordinary. They even had such an existence. Uncle Master, save me. The Chelan clan leader was overjoyed. Great, his fourth uncle was here. He had hope. This old man was a grand elder, and his strength was comparable to Long Mu of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. As long as he helped, it shouldn't be a problem to save him. However, after the old Chelan arrived, he didn't care about the Chelan clan leader at all. Instead, he looked directly at Lin Xian. He said, Lin Gongzi, my Chelan clan is in the wrong. Lin Gongzi, please be merciful. You're here to save him? Lin Xian furrowed his brows tightly. Although this guy was similar to Long Mu, he wasn't afraid now. This was because his current strength was extremely powerful. A terrifying flame mark appeared between his eyebrows. A terrifying pressure swept out in all directions. After the old Chelan saw this, he sighed. This young man grew too quickly, and he wasn't confident of winning. He shook his head and said, I'm not here to plead for him. I'm here to plead for the Chelan clan. He offended Sir, and it was natural for him to die. But I hope that Sir won't blame the entire Chelan clan. After speaking, the old Chelan turned to look at the Chelan clan leader. The Chelan clan leader was stunned. What was going on? Was the old Chelan going to attack him? No, Uncle Master, you can't do this to me. I'm the clan leader. The old Chelan said coldly. You made the wrong decision and almost destroyed the entire clan. Now, you're no longer the clan leader. You're a sinner. He formed a seal with his palm and slapped the Chelan clan leader. How could the Chelan clan leader be his opponent? Under this palm, his heart and soul were completely destroyed. He was dead. His eyes were filled with despair. Even in death, he couldn't believe that he would be killed by his Uncle Master. Beside him, the Purple Mansion's mansion lord also sucked in a cold breath. Even the great emperor clans had to lower their heads. Damn it, looks like he's in danger this time. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. He didn't expect the old Chelan to be so decisive and kill the patriarch of the Chelan clan. He shook his head slightly. Is that all? It was not enough. The old Chelan said, Of course, he didn't know these things. I will give young master some compensation. I will give you a full recovery and resources for extreme weapons. Lin Xian nodded. All right, send it to the Divine Union in 3 days. The amount of resources needed to revive an extreme grade weapon was enormous. Even for the divine union, it wasn't easy to collect them. Now that the other party had actually given her so many resources, Lin Xian naturally accepted them all. Many thanks to Lin Gongzi. The old Qilin turned and left. There was only one person left in the world, and that was the Purple Mansion Lord. Lin Xian looked at him. Housemaster Zi's face turned extremely ugly. The Qilin race would not care about him. It seemed that he could only rely on himself. He took a deep breath, and his bloodline power began to burn. He wanted to activate the dragon pattern cauldron with all his might. With this extreme grade weapon, he wouldn't die. However, he might be seriously injured. Lin Xian also opened the sword world and absorbed the energy inside. The heaven-devouring jar floated up and down, radiating light. The great dragon sword soul was extremely sharp. Lin Xian was about to make a move. However, at that moment, a cold snort was heard. You can't kill him, or you'll have to bear the consequences. Lin Xian frowned when he heard this voice. He didn't make a move. Did someone else come? The last person who came was the old Qilin of the Qilin race, an existence similar to Long Mu. Who was it this time? Was there such a person in the Purple Mansion? To be honest, even the housemaster of the Purple Mansion was stunned. Many of the foundations of the Purple Mansion were hibernating, and he didn't seem to know such a person. Unless it wasn't someone from the Purple Mansion. He turned to look at her, and the next moment she smiled, because he saw a group of people. If this person came, he wouldn't be in any danger. A figure walked over from the distance. This figure was wearing an ancient battle robe, and his body carried an ancient and desolate aura. Every step he took crossed millions of miles of mountains and rivers. In a few steps he was nearby. Lin Xian frowned. This person was not ordinary. He gave him a sense of threat. Who was it? This shouldn't be someone from the Purple Mansion. He asked coldly, "You want to help the Purple Mansion?" The man in the ancient battle robe walked out. He was expressionless. It was as if he was cut by a knife. His eyes were as bright as lightning. After he arrived, he stared at Lin Xian. He said, "Young man, enough is enough. Don't you think it's funny that you want me to stop with just one sentence?" The ancient man shook his head. "Do you know who I am? Do you know who he is?" He pointed at the housemaster of the Purple Mansion. Lin Xian snorted. "Wasn't he the housemaster of the Purple Mansion? The Purple Mansion has always been against me. Why can't I kill him? As for who you are, I don't need to know. I only need to know that if you dare to stop me, you're an enemy. I have never shown mercy to my enemies." "Ha ha ha ha, you're really arrogant." The ancient man looked up to the sky and laughed. "I'm an existence that you can't challenge. As for him, although he can't defeat you, you have to look up to the existence standing behind him. His origin isn't something you can imagine. If you kill him, you'll definitely die. So, young man, enough is enough." The housemaster of the Purple Mansion also laughed. He looked at the ancient man and said, "I didn't expect that you would come from the desolate tomb. You actually came out." Upon hearing this, Lin Xian's brows furrowed even tighter. If he remembered correctly, the desolate tomb was one of the forbidden areas of death on the buried Emperor Star. It was the same as Mount Eternal and the Valley of No Return. Other cultivators couldn't enter at all. There were supreme existences in the desolate tomb. Mount Eternal had already opened. Previously, the 10 great emissaries had appeared. Each of them was a double champion that shocked the world. Later, the Valley of No Return was also opened. A terrifying aura that even 3 extreme grade weapons couldn't suppress was released. In the end, Lin Xian and the others joined hands to completely seal it. Now, another forbidden area of death had appeared. Moreover, someone had come out. Obviously, it was completely opened and couldn't be sealed anymore. However, what made him frown even more was that the desolate tomb actually knew the Purple Mansion. This shouldn't be. The people in the forbidden area of death had never come out. Moreover, they had existed for a very long time. Although this woman was the housemaster, She looked very young. She wasn't much older than Lin Xian. How did they know each other? Also, what was the identity of the housemaster of the Purple Mansion? What kind of expert was standing behind her? He also didn't know. It seemed that the Purple Mansion wasn't the end. There should be an even more terrifying existence behind her. Chapter 55:12. So you're from the forbidden land of death. But so what? Even the 10 great emissaries of Mount Eternal are no match for me. You want to fight me alone? You're still far from it. Lin Xian snorted coldly. As he spoke, he threw a punch at the Lord of the Purple Mansion. You're courting death. The ancient figure was also angry. He waved his hand and also threw out a chain. It carried a terrifying, desolate aura that wrapped around the black, demonic fist. The two collided and blocked the demonic fist. Kid, don't go too far. If I attack, you won't have a good ending. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as well. What a powerful force to be able to block his punch. However, he snorted coldly. The divine fire instantly erupted and swept the chain, shattering it. He attacked the Lord of the Purple Mansion. The Lord of the Purple Mansion hurriedly stopped him. The fist hit the dragon pattern cauldron and made an earth-shaking sound. Lin Xian's fist was shattered. He narrowed his eyes, as expected of an extreme weapon. Then he turned to look at the ancient figure. But you're not that strong. I'm afraid it's impossible for you to stop me. Kid, you're very arrogant. I'll show you the power of the barren tomb. More chains appeared behind him and danced in the air like lightning. Then he looked at the Lord of the Purple Mansion and said, You leave first. The Lord of the Purple Mansion said, Let's leave together with extreme weapons. The ancient figure shook his head. Don't worry, he can't kill me. I'll let him know the power of the Forbidden Land. He must submit. Okay. The Lord of the Purple Mansion gritted his teeth. I don't have much power left. I'll leave first. He killed our Triple Crown champion. Find a way to get revenge. Then the Lord of the Purple Mansion rose into the air. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You really think I don't exist and you want to leave? Do you think it's possible? He threw the heaven-swallowing jar over with a palm. It covered the entire sky and swallowed the heavens and the earth. The black sky instantly pressed down. At this moment, all the creatures of the Tianqian continent knelt on the ground in fear. They kept crawling because the heaven-devouring jar had completely enveloped the heavenly fate continent. It was as if it wanted to swallow the heavenly secrets. The Purple Mansion's Mansion Lord was naturally the first to bear the brunt of the attack. He shouted angrily and used the dragon-writ cauldron to resist. Kid, your opponent is me. The ancient figure was infuriated. 10 chains flew out from his hand, roaring in the air like flying dragons. They charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a wave of his hand, the stone golden crow swept across the sky. The two collided, creating an earth-shattering sound. Lin Xian then slashed out with his sword. He wasn't in the mood to waste time with his opponent, so he attacked with a killing blow. The sword transformed into a divine dragon, bearing its fangs and brandishing its claws. The 10 chains were all shattered. The ancient figure was also sent flying, while Lin Xian soared into the air. He took a deep breath. Dalong! Dragon scales appeared on his body, and he transformed into a divine dragon. He became one with his sword. In an instant it rushed out. Damn it, how dare you! The ancient figure roared at the sky. The power of this attack made him feel terrified. On the other side, the Purple Mansion Lord's expression changed drastically. Although there was only half of the heaven-swallowing jar, his dragon-writ cauldron could suppress it. However, it was still an extreme-grade weapon, so she couldn't completely escape. Now, Lin Xian became one with his sword and rushed over again. The Dalong sword soul tore through the extreme-grade aura with its invincible power and rushed in. cracks appeared on his body, and the space between his eyebrows also cracked. No, the Purple Mansion Lord despaired. Die. Lin Xian was cold, and the power in his body erupted. However, at this moment, the Purple Mansion Lord's pupils became hollow. He stopped there and no longer attacked. In the next moment, a transcendent power erupted from his body. Not good. Lin Xian's expression changed. What kind of power was this? His divine dragon had 100 tails. With a boom, he was sent flying, and the sword qi on his body dimmed a lot. Kid, be careful. This is the power of a quasi-emperor. Dalong's voice rang out. Lin Xian frowned. A quasi-emperor? The Purple Mansion Lord is a quasi-emperor? Or is he like Yao Guang and has a quasi-emperor's remnant soul in his body? Dalong shook his head. No, this is not a quasi-emperor's remnant soul. It is not even an ordinary quasi-emperor. It is an extremely powerful quasi-emperor. The Purple Mansion Lord is not ordinary. It will be very difficult for you to kill him. Moreover, I suggest you don't kill him first. Don't alert the power behind the Purple Mansion Lord. Otherwise, your future path will be very difficult. Lin Xian frowned. What is the power behind the Purple Mansion Lord? Dalong said, It is our enemy. The previous generations of Dalong's descendants fought against it. You will not be an exception in the future. He will be our strongest enemy. The Dalong sword was broken by them. Hearing this, Lin Xian's pupils dilated. The Dalong sword soul is now a weapon spirit. However, the real Dalong sword was broken. How is this possible? According to his speculation, the Dalong sword should be an extreme grade weapon. However, it was broken by someone. What kind of power can break an extreme grade weapon? Just who was standing behind the Purple Mansion? The Purple Mansion Lord's expression was cold. His pupils became hollow. However, there was a transcendent power in his body, accompanied by a biting, cold voice. Who is it that dares to attack my daughter? He stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Sword qi surrounded him. At the same time, he called back the heaven-swallowing jar. An endless black hole appeared on his body to resist this power. The power of the heaven-swallowing jar. Is the heavenly court courting death again? However, in my eyes, you are just a group of ants. You can't fight against us. On the other side, the ancient figure also flew out. His expression was cold as he stared at Lin Xian. That sword strike just now had injured him and caused him to suffer a loss. He was seething with killing intent. However, he did not attack. Instead, he looked forward and cupped his fists. Lord, this kid is very strange. He is too strong. He will be a great threat in the future. Why don't we kill him now? Hearing this, Lin Xian's pupils shrank. A trace of biting, cold, killing intent appeared in his eyes. The ancient figure was actually so vicious and merciless. He stared fixedly at the other party. At the same time, he felt that the transcendent power in front of him seemed to have locked onto him. He snorted coldly. You want to kill me? Can you do it? Go to hell, ant. The transcendent power formed a gigantic hand that blotted out the sky and covered the earth as it slammed down. Dalong said, using the power of the reincarnation sword. Lin Xian's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that Dalong also wanted to hide. Okay, then I will use the power of the reincarnation sword. The light of reincarnation in Lin Xian's eyes kept exploding. He used it to the extreme. An illusion of the reincarnation sword formed between heaven and earth. The sword slashed forward, carrying the aura of the 6 paths of reincarnation. No. Seeing this, the ancient figure's expression changed drastically. He turned around and fled. Some gray aura appeared on his body. It seemed that some parts of his body were broken, that transcendent power was enraged. 6 paths of reincarnation. You are courting death. The terrifying transcendent hand slapped over to resist. In the next moment, an earth-shattering sound was heard. The sky of the entire burial earth was torn apart. A terrifying aura swept in all directions. Everyone looked up at the sky at this moment. What exactly happened? Chapter 55:13. Humph. I'll remember the power of reincarnation. Kid, I'll get rid of you one day. The transcendent power snorted coldly. Then it took the purple mansion master and the dragon-patterned cauldron into the sky and disappeared. It was obvious that even though the purple mansion master had a quasi-emperor behind him, he only used a portion of his power and left. Lin Xian closed his right eye. His face was pale. This quasi-emperor was not ordinary. Although he only used a portion of his power, he could feel that he was stronger than the chaotic quasi-emperor of the chaotic race. He asked, "DeLong, even if you don't say anything else, you can at least tell me who the enemy is." Lin Xian wanted to know who was behind the Purple Mansion Master. DeLong said, "Permitha, Permitha." Lin Xian's pupils shrank. Wasn't it the Permitha flower that sealed his spirit meridians? It turned out that the Permitha flower didn't belong to the Purple Mansion Master, but to the Permitha behind him. Lin Xian clenched his fists. A trace of cold killing intent appeared in his eyes. "Permitha, one day I'll destroy it." He turned and left. On the other side, a figure walked out from the void in the distance. His ancient battle robe was torn. Damn it, it's the power of reincarnation. I almost reincarnated. He gritted his teeth. Damn it, I won't let you off. He turned and left. When the news spread out, the world was shocked. The Triple Crown champion was dead. It was unbelievable. When those people heard the news, they were in an uproar. That was the Triple Crown champion. He was above everything. He could kill an ancestral patriarch with a single move. How terrifying was that? But now such a person was killed by Lin Wuti. How powerful was Lin Wuti? When those from the monarch race heard this, their scalps went numb. Especially when they learned that not only was the Triple Crown champion killed, but even the Qilin race's patriarch had fallen. They were equally shocked. Did the Qilin race bow down to Lin Wuti? Even the great emperor race bowed down to him? This made the monarch race even more shocked. News of the storm spread throughout the entire burial earth. Everyone was talking about Lin Xian. They knew that Lin Xian had also become a triple champion. As for the Divine Union, it had most likely grown to the level of an emperor tribe. Even a great emperor clan would have to be respectful to him. This was a sect that had never produced a great emperor, but it had a supreme status. It was truly unbelievable. After the Purple Mansion sect received the news, they fell into despair. What? The Triple Crown champion was dead. That was their hope, and it was destroyed just like that. No, it was as if they had seen the end of the world. Where was the manor head? What about the manor head? They were also extremely worried, but it was still all right. A day later, a purple figure descended from the sky, tearing through the void. When the people of the Purple Mansion saw this, they all cried out in alarm. It was the prefecture lord. They walked over and knelt on the ground. The chief of the Z government had a powerful aura. He said coldly, "I know what happened. Don't talk about it. I need to go into seclusion and activate the defensive formation." Was the manor head injured? The elders were shocked. Quickly activate the defensive array. They all took defensive actions. On the other side, Yao Guang stood on a mountain peak. After receiving the news, his eyes shone with a cold light. The Triple Crown champion was killed, and by Lin Wuti. How was this possible? He clenched his fists, his eyes filled with shock. Previously, when the Triple Crown champion woke up, he defeated him in one move, which made him grit his teeth. In the end, he had no choice but to escape. After that, he felt that Lin Xian wouldn't be able to escape the fate of being killed. But now, the situation was completely different. Lin Xian had killed the Triple Crown champion, and according to the intelligence, it wasn't the power of an extreme grade weapon. He had killed the Triple Crown champion with his own strength. Lin Wuti had also become the Triple Crown champion? Damn it! What had he obtained in the ancient tomb? Yao Guang gritted his teeth. His body flickered, and he flew towards the Tianji continent. He arrived at the place where the battle had taken place. He wanted to find the Triple Crown champion's corpse, but this time he raised his head and roared. There was no Triple Crown champion's corpse. It seemed that Lin Wuti had been wary of him and had already destroyed his body and soul. He snorted coldly, then shattered a dozen mountains. Power! He wanted great power. He also wanted to become the Triple Crown champion. Now he was far behind Lin Xian, so he didn't dare to show himself. He could only search for some ancient tombs and devour some experts' corpses. Don't be anxious. Stay here first. You will have a chance. At this time, the 9th Firmament Boundary Emperor's soul spoke. Yao Guang snorted. Old thing, what can you do? To be honest, he couldn't wait any longer. He wanted to devour the other party. The 9th Firmament Boundary Emperor said, You better not have any ideas about me, because I will be very helpful to you. I said that I will help you become a Boundary Emperor. Yao Guang shook her head. But I can't help you kill Lin Wuti now. The 9th Firmament Boundary Emperor said, You still have a chance. In the next period of time, there will be an unexpected phenomenon. I can feel it. He is coming. Soon, it won't be long. Wait patiently. When he comes, with my help, I can guarantee that you will improve by leaps and bounds. He's coming? What is it? Who is coming? Yao Guang asked. The 9th Firmament Boundary Emperor said no more. Wait patiently. On the other side, Huangling also appeared in front of everyone. This forbidden land exploded with endless light, and there were even people shouting. This news spread all over the world. When the people on Buried Earth Star heard about it, they were also shocked. Heavens! Huangling actually appeared. This is also a forbidden land. After Mount Eternal it also appeared? Why do I feel that something big is going to happen? Too many forbidden lands have appeared recently. Not only that, I feel that the Golden Era is really coming. In this era, there will definitely be a great emperor. I feel that Lin Wuti is very likely to be one. He has already surpassed everyone. Voices of discussion were heard one after another. Those great emperor clans were also nervous. However, some of the extremely ancient supreme elders had grave expressions on their faces. Don't be impatient. Lin Wuti has hope, but that doesn't mean that others don't. Our great emperor clans have some records about forbidden lands. There are human sovereigns in this world. When the time comes, they will not let Lin Wuti become an emperor so easily. Voices sounded one after another. The great emperor clans and remote antiquity clans were all waiting. Undercurrents were surging on Buried Earth Star. However, the Divine Union was cheering. Great, Lin Xian had won. He had killed the Triple Crown King and returned with a strong momentum. He had shown the might of the Divine Union. From now on, let's see who would dare to attack the Divine Union. They were very happy. Yen Ruyu, the Crimson Dragon, and the others also heaved sighs of relief. The savage wilderness ancestor and the others also smiled. After Lin Xian returned, he began to wait. 2 days later, the people from the Qilin clan arrived. Chapter 55:14. While the people of Ancient City were nervous, the people of the Divine Union were also on guard. Were they going to attack them again? However, Lin Xian smiled. Don't worry, they were here to deliver gifts. Deliver gifts? Hong Yi and the others were stunned. However, their eyes soon widened in shock. They were really here to deliver gifts. When the elders of the Qilin tribe arrived, they greeted Lin Gongzi respectfully. They bowed as if they were facing the leader of an emperor tribe. Lin Xian nodded and asked, Did you bring the items? They are here. Please take a look, Lin Gongzi. The elders took out more than 10 storage rings. Lin Xian waved his hand and grabbed them. He checked them with his soul consciousness before nodding. Very good. The Qilin tribe is a man of his word. The elders of the Qilin tribe heaved a sigh of relief. They had completed their mission. They said, Lin Gongzi, we might have a chance to work together in the future. Therefore, the Qilin tribe doesn't want to become Lin Gongzi's enemy. After saying that, he took his leave. The people of St. Origin Ancient City were even more shocked. A emperor tribe had come personally to deliver gifts. This was enough to show how powerful Lin Xian was now. When this news spread, it caused another uproar. Finally, he had gotten his hands on it. Lin Xian's lips curled into a smile as he held onto the energy. Then he said, Divine Union, listen up. Gather. The Divine Union's invitation was sent out in all directions. The allies of the Divine Union rushed over. Actually, there was no need for Lin Xian to say anything. When the news of his victorious return spread, these people had already started to gather. They had come to congratulate him. Now that they had received the Divine Union's order, they sped up. In just one day, all the allies of the Divine Union had gathered. They looked at Lin Xian in front of them, excitedly. Lin Xian's expression was solemn. Previously, the Z Mansion had attacked the Divine Union. This was an unforgivable crime. Now we have to fight back. Killing a Triple Crown champion is not enough. Ruyu, bring some people to attack the Z Mansion. Ruyu walked out and nodded. She brought some remote antiquity families with her and soared into the sky. Before they left, Lin Xian said to pay attention to the Purple Mansion's Mansion Lord. He had an extraordinary power in his body, and they must not let him get hurt. This time, he only needed to teach the Z Mansion a lesson. There was no need to kill them all. I understand. Yan Ruyu nodded. Then Lin Xian said, Ruzalong, take your men and destroy the spiritual exterminators and the Golden Armor sect. Don't worry. The Crimson Dragon also brought some people with him. Hong Yi, bring some people over and exterminate the Demon Shark clan, Xianjian sect, and the Giant Serpent clan. One order after another was passed down. These were all people who had opposed Lin Xian before. Previously, Lin Xian hadn't had the time. Now that he had returned to the Divine Union, he wanted to take revenge. He wanted the entire buried Earth Star and the people of the Myriad Realms to see the consequences of opposing the Divine Union. The people from the Divine Union moved out quickly. Lin Xian, on the other hand, headed for the 1,000 Dragon Court. He went to support the Morong Qingqing. At this moment, the buried Earth Star was shaken once again. Lin Xian had mobilized the power of the Divine Union to attack the enemy again. No one knew what the outcome would be. Everyone was paying attention. The peerless sects, remote antiquity families, and even the emperor clans were constantly patrolling for news. The first battle was between the Golden Armor sect and the spiritual exterminators. The leaders of these two sects and their important sacred weapons had been destroyed, so their strength had long been depleted. Under the attack of the Crimson Dragon, they were quickly destroyed. The spiritual exterminators were destroyed. Soon after, the Golden Armor sect was also destroyed. The people of the Tianji continent were shocked when they heard that the two top sects had been destroyed. The people of the buried Earth Star were also in an uproar. This was really shocking. Lin Wuti had really made a move. The people from the Qilin clan were also shocked. As for the other remote antiquity families and peerless sects, their scalps went numb. Many of them had gone against Lin Xian before. Back then, more than 80 sects had attacked together. So many of them had been destroyed. However, Lin Xian had not attacked all of them. He had only targeted 3 of them, the Xianjian sect, the Grinding Shark clan, and the Python clan. Fu Hongya had led some remote antiquity families to attack. This was a terrifying battle. However, the Divine Union was at its peak now. Although it had been damaged previously, its strength was still terrifying. Coupled with Lin Wuti's reputation, The people of the three sects were terrified before the battle had even started. In the end, the three sects had been completely destroyed. In an instant, everyone was even more shocked. The Purple Mansion sect was also under attack. The green lotus bloomed, and the Purple Mansion sect's array shook violently. Oh no, the Divine Union is attacking. They have used extreme weapons. The Mansion Master is still in seclusion. Damn it, we have to use the Dragon Pattern Cauldron to defend ourselves. Many people went forward to use the Dragon Pattern Cauldron. In the secret room, the leader of the Z government opened his eyes and humphed coldly. What a detestable guy. He waved his sleeves and threw the dragon pattern nail out. Then he said, "Just defend yourself." Although he had been saved by Lin Wudi's transcendental power, he had still been injured. Therefore, he had to recuperate. Furthermore, Lin Wudi had not given them any time to prepare. They could only defend themselves now. He would take revenge in the future. The elders who had obtained the Dragon Pattern Cauldron used it to defend themselves. The two extreme weapons collided, causing the sky to crumble and the earth to crack. The people on Burial Earthstar were in an uproar. After the Divine Union had destroyed a few sects, they had attacked the Purple Mansion sect. They wondered how the battle was going. Yanruyu had also brought a lot of power with her this time. The Dragon Pattern Cauldron was shaking non-stop. They had torn apart the Purple Mansion sect's mountain gate and destroyed countless palaces and mountains. Many people in the Purple Mansion sect had turned into a bloody mist. The people in the Purple Mansion sect had no way to defend themselves. The array had been opened. They could only retreat with their extreme weapons and protect the core area. Yanruyu did not make any more moves. This time, Lin Xian had only given him the task of intimidating the enemy. He had given them a warning. Therefore, he had completed his task. He said with a victorious smile, "Let's go." The people of the Divine Union left, leaving behind ruins. When the monarch race and remote antiquity family found out about the situation, they all sucked in a breath of cold air. Even with the protection of an extreme weapon, it had been destroyed to this extent. Without the extreme weapon, the Purple Mansion sect would have been destroyed. In the core area of the Purple Mansion sect, the space there was already very small. The people who were still alive looked at the shattered scene outside and gritted their teeth. The elders' hearts were bleeding. 50,000 years ago, besides the battle with the Heavenly Court, they had never experienced such heavy losses. Now, Lin Xian's Divine Union seemed to be even more powerful than the Heavenly Court back then. They could only wait for the Purple Mansion Master to come out of seclusion. They could only grit their teeth and stay here. News after news spread rapidly on Burial Earthstar. Countless people were in an uproar. They looked up at the sky. They could only worship the Divine Union. Many people even wanted to join the Divine Union. Lin Xian had already arrived at the 10,000 Dragon Court. Chapter 55:15. At this moment, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was in tatters. The cultivators of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were in an even more miserable state. They were being chased by so many extreme weapons. Even though they were from a great emperor family and had a strong foundation, they were already on the verge of collapse. Damn it, they couldn't accept this. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty gritted their teeth. Long Mu's eyes were red. He was much thinner than before, and his hair was whiter than before. He was extremely tired, but he still gritted his teeth and resisted. "Just you wait. Don't let us recover. Otherwise, we won't rest until we're dead." The people of the Emperor family frowned. It was too difficult to completely destroy a great emperor family. However, at this moment, a cold snort came from the sky. "Won't rest until we're dead? Do you think you still have a chance?" Hearing this, everyone was stunned. The pupils of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty constricted. It was Lin Wudi. Long Mu raised his head and his eyes instantly turned red. He would never forget this voice. "Damn, Linwoody, you still dare to come?" He roared angrily and struck at the sky with his palm, drawing a huge dragon and forming a dragon saber. The sky was torn apart in an instant. A figure dodged the attack and walked over in the air. It was none other than Lin Xian. Lin Xian said, "That's right, I'm here to destroy you. Brother Xian, you are fine. This is great." When Murong Qingqing saw Lin Xian, a smile appeared on the corner of her mouth. The others were also shocked. "Lin Wudy, you're not dead?" Lin Xian smiled. "It seems like your news is too outdated. You don't know anything now. Not only am I not dead, but I've also broken through. Not long ago, I even killed the Triple Crown King and severely injured the Purple Palace." Triple Crown King. Hearing this, the people of the Emperor family were shocked. What was going on? Did the Triple Crown King appear? Just as Lin Xian said, they had been attacking the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. They really didn't know anything else. Now, they hurriedly asked their families for help. When they received the news from their families, they sucked in a breath of cold air. Not long ago, the Triple Crown King appeared and defeated the Dao sect's old ancestor with one palm. He even defeated the light-shaking realm. How powerful was such a person? But now he was killed by Lin Wudy. What kind of breakthrough did Lin Wudy achieve in the Dragon Emperor's tomb? They dared not imagine. Sensing these gazes, Lin Xian smiled and said, "Everyone, our goal is the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Now is not the time to talk about me. Let's attack together and completely suppress them today." The others also took a deep breath. Indeed, the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was at the end of its rope. With the addition of Lin Xian, their chances of winning should be higher. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were in despair. Lin Wudy was still alive, but they were about to be destroyed. Long Mu gritted his teeth and stepped forward. He said, "Kid, do you dare to fight me to the death?" "Let's fight. I've won. Everyone leave. No more attacks. If you win, then we will give up the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty and leave buried Earth." What do you think? When these words were spoken, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were in an uproar. They were all in despair. Were they going to leave burial Earthstar? To their great Emperor clans, this was simply too humiliating. The other Emperor clans were shocked too. No way was he going to fight one-on-one. They shook their heads. How could Lin Wudy be so stupid to fight one-on-one with Long Mu? Although Lin Wudy was the Three Crown King, he shouldn't be able to defeat Long Mu. With such an advantage, why would Lin Wudy choose to fight one-on-one? These people were in deep discussion. Lin Xian laughed. "Oh, you want to fight one-on-one with me? Okay, I'll grant you your wish. The two of us can fight one-on-one without the help of others or extreme weapons. How about that?" "Sure." Long Mu was delighted. He was just testing and didn't have much hope. He didn't expect Lin Xian to actually agree. Lin Xian said, "Okay then, let's fight to the death." Everyone was shocked. The Emperor clans frowned. The Gu family elder said, "Lin Wudy, aren't you being too arrogant?" "Right. What right do you have to decide for us? If you lose, do we have to give up?" Fire Qilin gritted his teeth. Lin Xian looked at these people and snorted coldly. "How can you know my strength?" He stared at Fire Qilin and said, "Your Qilin race's leader died in front of me, and you still dare to be arrogant in front of me?" When he heard this, Qilin's expression changed. The other Emperor clans were also shocked. There was such a thing? What exactly happened outside? They realized that during the days they were attacking the 10,000 Dragon Court, there seemed to have been a huge change outside. Lin Xian was very domineering. He waved his hand and walked out. He said, "Come, as long as you can beat me, I can guarantee that no one will attack again." "Good kid, you said that." Long Mu gritted his teeth and walked out. He hated and feared this young man in front of him. He killed the Dragon Prince and attacked the Dragon Emperor's tomb. Now he wanted to attack the 10,000 Dragon Court. How could he not hate him? he was even more afraid. Lin Xian's talent was too strong, surpassing the emperor's. Now that he had grown to such a level, he would become an emperor in the future. Once the other party became a great emperor, it would be their time of death. Therefore, this was his last chance. He couldn't miss it. He walked out. His figure was incomparably tall, and his white hair instantly turned into a waterfall of black hair. At this moment, he had turned into a handsome, middle-aged man. It was obvious that he was going to go all out. Even if it was for the sake of the 10,000 dragon court, he had to defeat Lin Xian this time. The dragon scales on his body bloomed, and the aura of the Tao of Dragons was incomparably terrifying. It swept across the surroundings. At this moment, the others also retreated. Well, they would let Lin Wuti exhaust Long Mu's power first. When the time came, they would attack. As for the agreement between Lin Xian and the other party, what a joke. They didn't think that Lin Xian could defeat Long Mu. After all, Long Mu was already one step away from the Saint Realm. He was only one step away from becoming a quasi-emperor. No matter how strong Lin Wuti was, he was only a divine ancestor. There was a huge difference between the two of them. Of course, this was only their judgment. In fact, they couldn't be blamed because they had never seen the Triple Crown Champion. They had never seen the battle between Lin Xian and the Triple Crown Champion. If they saw it with their own eyes, they probably wouldn't think so, because the Triple Crown Champion's strength was far beyond their imagination, and Lin Xian's strength was even stronger. Long Mu hollered out coldly as he punched out with a punch. That punch transformed into a gigantic dragon claw that swept across the entire world. It charged towards Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He formed a seal with his palms, and pitch-black, demonic qi formed a huge seal that charged towards the sky. The black seal was like a demon god that had been resurrected. The collision of the two shook the world. Would Lin Wuti be able to withstand it? Would this move shatter his body and cause him to be seriously injured? Humph! How could he be a match for Lin Xian without an extreme weapon? Chapter 55:16. The people from the Emperor race shook their heads. This kid couldn't block it at all. The people from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty were also cold. Lin Wuti was too arrogant. They admitted that he was strong and that no one in the younger generation was his match. But if he didn't use the power of an extreme weapon to fight against Lord Longmu, he was too naive. What was he? Lord Longmu had 1 foot out of the Saint Realm and was just 1 step away from the quasi-emperor realm. Even if Lin Wuti could kill the Triple Crown King, could he fight against someone who crossed the Saint Realm? They didn't believe it. The people from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty all shook their heads. To them, Lin Xian might have been heavily injured by this palm. A shocking sound rang out, and a terrifying light shone in all directions. Everyone retreated. They all opened their eyes wide and looked carefully. Hee! Lin Wuti had turned into a blood mist. However, very quickly, the smiles on their faces disappeared. What replaced it was a look of terror. He didn't die. The people from the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty exclaimed. The pupils of the Emperor race people constricted. How was that possible? Was Lin Wuti fine? He really blocked Long Mu's attack. Murong Qingqing heaved a sigh of relief. Great. Brother Xian's strength was much stronger than before. Long Mu's pupils constricted. He felt his dragon claw tremble. The other party's fist was too terrifying. It actually made his scalp go numb. How was that possible? Your body. Lin Xian forced back the dragon claw and then smiled. You're old and your strength is only so. After saying this, he roared. Reincarnation fist. He used an extremely strong fist. The power of the 6 paths of reincarnation flew out and pierced through heaven and earth. It caused the dragon claw to retreat. Long Mu retreated and smashed millions of miles of mountain peaks. He seemed to have gone mad. Damn it. He rose into the air and charged over. Dragon's destruction. He waved his hand, and 18 terrifying cracks appeared in the sky. They were like dragons of destruction as they charged towards Lin Xian. Die for me. He really didn't believe that the other party could fight against him. Lin Xian scoffed coldly, and endless sword energy appeared in his hand. Shura 5 sword. Lin Xian shot out 5 streaks of sword energy. This was a terrifying killing move that pierced through the destructive aura and charged forward. The terrifying dragon's 5 swords landed on Long Mu's body, causing him to retreat. Among them, a sword wound appeared on his body, piercing through his shoulder. His arm fell to the side. How did this happen? She could actually injure me. Long Mu was in disbelief. The surrounding people also went crazy. They all stared with their eyes wide open. Damn it, I must be dreaming. How did this kid Long Mu's, how did he have such strength? Is Lin Wudi? Why do I feel it can't be right? How long has it been? From a puny little saint, he already possesses power that surpasses that of a divine ancestor? Emperor race peopled. They were now very suspicious about what Lin Xian had obtained in the Dragon Emperor's ancient tomb. I've said it before. You're old. You're no match for me. Lin's thousand Lin Xian stood there and said coldly. Long Mu's eyes were red and killing intent emerged from his body. He had seen the battle between Lin Xian and the 7th Dragon General. Lin Xian may have defeated the 7th Dragon General, but the 7th Dragon General's cultivation was suppressed at that time. So in Long Mu's opinion, Lin Xian wouldn't be able to block a single move in a real battle. In fact, even he would be able to kill them, as long as he didn't use an extreme weapon. But now, Lin Xian didn't use the power of an extreme weapon at all. Instead, he injured Long Mu with his own strength. Is this the power of the Triple Crown Champion? Damn it, this guy is definitely not an ordinary Triple Crown Champion. Indeed, the Triple Crown Champion was powerful. For example, Ziming swept through everything. But even if Ziming met Long Mu, he wouldn't be a match for him. After all, Long Mu was very close to becoming a boundary emperor. But unfortunately, he met Lin Xian. Lin Xian had the divine fire seed. This was a power formed after becoming a boundary emperor. He already had it in advance. So, how could Long Mu be his match? Aren't you surprised? Lin Xian took a step forward and slashed out with his sword again. This sword lit up the sky and turned into eternity between heaven and earth. It was like a giant dragon slashing towards Long Mu. Long Mu and Yang Tian roared and tried to block it. However, he was still sent flying, and a large crack appeared on his body. Dragon blood dyed the sky red. The 9 heavens and 10 earths collapsed under this blood. It couldn't be helped. Long Mu's blood was too terrifying. I'm injured again. Long Mu roared at the sky. My blood will refine you. Turn into a sea of blood for me. The droplets of dragon blood suddenly grew larger, turning into a sea of blood that loomed over Lin Xian. Everywhere it passed, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. Nothing could stop it. It's just dragon blood, not the blood of a boundary emperor. It can't stop me at all. Lin Xian was calm. The sword in his hand became more and more terrifying. He roared at the sky. I have a sword that can cut the sky and the underworld. Cut it open. The sword energy became even more resplendent. Lin Xian held the giant sword in his hand as if he had turned into a peerless sword god. He slashed out and slashed into the dragon blood. The sea of blood surged and swept in all directions. The dragon blood was actually cut open. Long Mu vomited blood and was sent flying again. No, the people of the 10,000 Dragon Court knelt on the ground. They were all in despair. Even those from the Emperor race felt their scalps go numb. This time, Long Mu was completely suppressed. However, at this moment, the void behind him split open and a blood-colored figure appeared. He held a blood-colored long blade in his hand. Kid, go to hell. Dragon blood clone. It turned out that not only did the other party use the dragon blood to form a sea of blood, but he also formed a clone that hid in the sea of blood. At the crucial moment, he charged behind Lin Xian. If this attack landed, it would probably cut Lin Xian in half. This blade split heaven and earth. Those from the Emperor race also felt their scalps go numb. Great! The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court were pleasantly surprised, as expected of their Lord Longmu. He was indeed strong. Ha 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 ha, Lin Wuti, let's see how you die this time. Murong Qingqing also cried out in alarm. Not good, Brother Xian, there's danger behind you. In the face of such a shocking attack, Lin Xian didn't retreat at all. Instead, he used the 9-yang divine body to the extreme. The divine fire on his body flickered rapidly. Then it formed 9 suns that surrounded him to block the attack. It's useless. Your 9-yang divine body can't block this blade. Longmu roared. With a clang, this blade slashed onto the illusion of the 9 suns, shattering the endless void. The surrounding mountain range was also constantly shattered. Lin Xian was shaken until his blood and qi churned. He flew forward. At the same time, another figure was sent flying. It was Longmu. What's the situation? Everyone took a closer look at it. At this moment, the 10,000 Dragon Court, Murong Qingqing, and the people from the Emperor race all became nervous. Chapter 55:17. Lin Xian turned around. Although he was knocked back, he was not injured. On the other side, the blood-colored figure was shattered. Longmu's face turned pale, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. Damn it, he could block it. He could not believe it. His secret divine ability was blocked by the other party? The 9-yang divine body was too terrifying. The 9-yang divine body was powerful, but it was definitely not in the top 10 in the universe. However, it was so terrifying. Could it be that it was no longer a pure 9-yang divine body? His guess was not wrong. The divine body had become even more terrifying than before with the power of the divine fire. Lin Xian's expression was cold. He walked forward again. The long sword in his hand pointed forward. An entire universe shook with him. He slashed out with his sword. The sword Qi slashed forward and fought with Longmu again. Longmu was very terrifying. After all, he was a top dragon race expert. At this moment, he had transformed into a dragon, and all kinds of terrifying auras surged out. His physique was also extremely terrifying. The people in the distance were shocked, and their scalps went numb. If they did not add the extreme weapons, none of them would be a match for Longmu. But right now, Lin Xianchuan had done it. In fact, he could even injure Longmu. Suddenly, Lin Xian's eyes burst out with an extremely sharp light. 6 paths of reincarnation. This was a super powerful soul power that attacked the other party's soul, wanting to destroy it. With a boom, Longmu spat out blood and flew backward. His soul seemed to be about to split open. He roared at the sky, and it was the furious dragon roar. He also launched a terrifying soul attack. He roared crazily, and the sound rushed in all directions. Not good. Use extreme weapons to block it. The surrounding people tried to block it. They were only able to survive because the power of the extreme grade weapon had blocked the sound. Otherwise, under this attack, the souls of many experts would be shattered and turned into ashes. Longmu waved his hand, took out a dragon-headed walking stick, and attacked. It broke through the void of millions of miles, carrying a biting cold aura, and attacked Lin Xian. Lin Xian raised his sword to block the attack. The resplendent light illuminated the world. The surrounding people couldn't see it, they could only hear the clanging sound. The more Lin Xian fought, the braver he became. He said, "You're old. Let me show you what true power is." The sword Qi on his body suddenly erupted, as if he had turned into a sword god and attacked. At the same time, the demonic Qi was vast as the great spear of destruction pierced through heaven and earth. Lin Xian unleashed his full battle prowess, sweeping through all directions. The battle between the two was truly terrifying. One was an expert of the older generation. Long Mu's age was definitely the most terrifying. The other was a rising star, Lin Xian, a top genius of the younger generation. This was a battle between two forces. Who would be stronger in the end? Between heaven and earth, countless large cracks spread, and finally a figure flew out. It was Dragonwood. The people from the Imperial clan cried out in alarm. Could it be that Long Mu, a top expert of the older generation, was going to be defeated? Would it be the world of young people in the future? No. The people of the 10,000 Dragon Court knelt on the ground. They really couldn't imagine it. The strongest expert of their dragon race, Lord Long Mu, was actually defeated. Lin Xian stood above the 9 heavens, holding a sword of great destruction and terrifying sharpness. His expression was cold as he stared below. You've lost. Countless people were in despair. At this moment, Lin Xian was really too strong. In the ruins below, Long Mu also kept vomiting blood. His figure was shattered, and there were wounds on his body from the sword and the great destruction spear. She couldn't believe that she had actually lost. Could the other party already defeat her? He didn't use the power of an extreme Dao weapon. I don't believe it. Lin Wuti, I want you to die. He suddenly took out the 10,000 dragons diagram and struck out with a shocking attack. 10,000 dragons roared, piercing through the sky. The power of extreme Dao charged towards Lin Xian. Not good. Morong Qingqing shouted angrily. The pupils of the other Imperial clan members also constricted. Lin Xian snorted coldly. Since you want to die, I'll fulfill your wish. More than 10 storage rings flew out and shattered in the air. These were the gifts that the Fire Qilin race had given him as an apology. It was enough for him to fully awaken the extreme Dao weapon. Allure. With an angry shout, Morong Qingqing shot out the desolate tower to block the 10,000 dragons diagram. As for Lin Xian, he took out the great dragon sword soul. Terrifying dragon energy surged, and a vast aura filled the world. At this moment, not only the 10,000 Dragons dynasty, but the entire Burial Earth Star also felt it. They looked up at the sky. Millions of miles away, there was a gigantic dragon rolling about on a star. Heavens, what was that? Many living beings knelt on the ground. Even the beasts felt their scalps go numb. What was going on? The people from the Imperial clan also looked up at the sky. Their pupils constricted. The power of the great dragon sword. At this moment, the dragon completely erupted. The dragon roared, and a sword slashed through billions of miles of heaven and earth. No, Long Mu screamed crazily. He didn't expect Lin Xian to be able to fully awaken the great dragon sword soul. More importantly, there was Morong Qingqing beside him, blocking his 10,000 dragons diagram. Stop, Lin Wuti, I admit defeat. I will leave with the people of the dragon race. Long Mu roared crazily. However, it was useless. The sword slashed down, covering heaven and earth. The universe shook, the sky collapsed, and the earth cracked. Everyone was forced back. The entire 10,000 Dragons dynasty was split apart by the sword. At this moment, many powerhouses of the dragon race were turned into ashes. As for Long Mu, his body and soul were both destroyed by this sword strike. After that sword strike, Lin Xian landed. His expression was incomparably cold. The pupils of the surrounding people from the Imperial clan constricted. Long Mu was dead. They couldn't sense his aura anymore. Was his soul destroyed? Heavens! This was an existence that had surpassed the Saint Realm, an expert second only to a quasi-emperor. Did he actually die? No. The surviving people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty knelt on the ground. They were really in despair. That sword strike just now not only killed Long Mu, but also countless of their experts. The 10,000 Dragons dynasty was heavily injured. The remaining people were no match for him at all. The people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty submitted. They said, "We will leave now. Please spare our lives." There was no way to continue fighting. Everyone's souls would be destroyed. If that happened, the 10,000 Dragons dynasty would really disappear. They couldn't bear it. Although they submitted, now they could still live. Lin Xian did not bother with these people. Long Mu was dead, and those top-notch experts of the Dragon Clan were also destroyed by a single sword. The remaining people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty weren't afraid. They were no different from being destroyed. More importantly, he still had something to do next, which was to devour the 10,000 Dragons dynasty. Although the 10,000 Dragons dynasty was destroyed, they still left behind a lot of power. He wanted to seize this power now, so he didn't care about the remaining ants. Should he let them go? The surrounding Emperor race experts shook their heads and walked forward. Lin Wudi agreed, but they didn't. Let their souls be destroyed. These Emperor race experts were filled with killing intent. Not good. The expressions of the people of the 10,000 Dragons dynasty changed drastically. They hurriedly recalled the 10,000 Dragons diagram to defend. At the same time, they looked at Lin Wudi. "Lin Wudi, you said that you would let us leave if we lost." Lin Xian didn't answer. Instead, he suddenly attacked. Chapter 55:18. Lin Xian made a move, but it wasn't towards the remaining ants. Instead, it was towards the 10,000 Dragon Court. He directly charged into the 10,000 Dragon Court. He took out the heaven-swallowing jar, and an endless whirlpool started to devour the Dragon Vein Palace and the herb garden. Everyone was dumbfounded by this scene. Very quickly, the Emperor race people reacted. "Damn it, go and snatch the resources." They now understood that the remaining people were nothing to be afraid of. There was no difference between being dead and being alive. However, the remaining resources of the 10,000 Dragon Court were shocking treasures. This was the territory of the Emperor race, and now that they had occupied it, they had to dig 3 feet into the ground and take away all the treasures. Qing Cheng. Lin Xian waved his hand and told Qing Cheng to come over. The 2 extreme weapons opened up a path and swept through everything. They quickly occupied the resources below. The remaining people of the 10,000 Dragon Court were in despair. These were the treasures of their Emperor race, and now they were going to be taken away by these people. "Go!" A middle-aged man in the lead gritted his teeth and roared. They brought the 10,000 Dragon Court and soared into the sky, turning into a dragon shadow and charging into the clouds. At this moment, they tore open the universe and left Burial Earthstar. Countless sects and families looked up at the sky. What happened? Why do I feel like the 10,000 Dragon Court's aura has disappeared? Has the 10,000 Dragon Court left Burial Emperor Star? Heavens! A great Emperor race has been forced out. Has the battle reached such a terrifying stage? Countless people were shocked. At the same time, Lin Xian sent out a signal. He ordered the people of the Divine Union to head towards the 10,000 Dragon Court. The Gu family, Qilin race, Kuan Peng race, Phoenix race, these great Emperor races and sects all sent out signals. They asked their own people to come and help. In an instant, countless people headed towards the 10,000 Dragon Court. As for the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty, they were nervous too. The people of the great Emperor families were going crazy because Lin Xian wanted half of the resources. "Damn it, Lin Wudi, don't be too arrogant." Lin Xian snorted coldly. "Whoever wasn't convinced, come and die." He waved his sword energy and sliced the ground into 2. Those who crossed the line would die. Then Lin Xian took out the Great Destruction Spear and pierced it into the ground. The boundless black whirlpool and demonic energy covered half of the 10,000 Dragon Court. The other Emperor race clenched their teeth. Damn it, this Lin Wudi was too arrogant. They were prepared to attack together. However, They didn't have much strength left and were waiting for their families to send them reinforcements. Soon, those people from the family came, bringing with them great power and formations. Great, let's do it. The Qilin child gritted his teeth. However, the old Qilin personally descended and held him down. Don't be rude to Lin Gongzi. What? The Qilin child was stunned. Grand Elder, what did you say? You actually addressed him as young master? Damn it. Have you gone senile? However, the Supreme Elder humphed coldly. Your Highness, we respectfully conferred you the title of Your Highness. But the situation now is different from before. We have decided not to become enemies with Lin Gongzi. The moment these words were said, the surrounding people went crazy. They really didn't expect the Qilin race to lower their heads to Lin Xian. The old Qilin even personally went over to greet Lin Xian. He said that he definitely wouldn't attack. Lin Xian nodded. Countless people were stunned. The Gu family people were dumbfounded. Damn it, how could this be? The Qilin race was too cowardly. The Qilin child roared crazily. No. Why? He was really crazy. However, as the Supreme Elder, the old Qilin had a very important position in the family. This time, it was obviously not his decision alone. It was the decision of many elders. Damn it, what exactly happened? He had to go back and find out. The people from the Purple Mansion didn't come because they were too injured. The other families and sects were all confused. Only those who had seen Lin Wuti knew how terrifying he was. The current Lin Wuti really couldn't be offended. The people from the Divine Union also came. Yan Ruyu, the Crimson Dragon, Bai Susu, Hong Yi, and the others came and met up with Lin Xian. Lin Xian waved his hand and said, half of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty is ours. Let's move quickly. No way, Bai Susu's eyes widened. Half of the great Emperor race was theirs. This harvest was too great. The Crimson Dragon went crazy. Ha, this is great. The dragon race definitely has endless secret treasures. Let's find them quickly. Even Murong Qingqing sucked in a deep breath. This was indeed a shocking amount of wealth. More importantly, the other great emperor races didn't dare to move. They would go and snatch the rest. The old Qilin said, although half of the great emperor race was gone, there was still half left. Therefore, they had to act quickly. The other large clans also made their moves. The Gu family people were unhappy and wanted to attack Lin Xian. In the end, they were suppressed by 3 extreme weapons. The Gu family people were injured and they tore open the void to escape. Previously, Lin Xian still had a chance when he was alone. Now that Murong Qingqing and Yan Ryu were here, the other party was going to attack with 3 extreme weapons. They couldn't fight back even if they joined forces, so they could only give up. In the end, the remaining great emperor races snatched the other half of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Then the entire Burial Earth Star went crazy. The 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was actually destroyed. Heavens, this was the first time a great emperor race was destroyed. Yes, for tens of thousands of years, the great emperor races had been high and mighty. No one could destroy them. But now, Lin Wuti had taken the lead to suppress a great emperor race? This was really crazy. More importantly, these people had snatched the entire great emperor race. At this moment, the spirit veins and dragon veins of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty had all been taken away. Bai Susu and the others had asked if they could develop the Divine Union on the basis of the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty. Lin Xian thought about it and then shook his head. He decided not to. The place occupied by the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty was definitely a place with good feng shui. However, he didn't dare to. After all, this was the place where the Dragon Emperor had lived, and he had a huge grudge with the Dragon Emperor. He didn't know what would happen if he stayed here for a long time. He might as well take the spirit veins away. As for the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty, he would just turn it into a pile of ruins. Lin Xian didn't need to do anything next. He only needed the people of the Divine Union to do it. He believed that no one would dare to go against him now. However, Lin Xian didn't relax. Although he had defeated the 10,000 Dragon Dynasty this time, there was still an even bigger enemy. That was the Permitha behind the Purple Mansion. According to the Great Emperor, the Permitha was very powerful. Back when the Heavenly Court was destroyed, several generations of the Great Emperor's descendants hadn't been able to gain the upper hand. One could imagine how terrifying the Permitha was. Lin Xian didn't know the exact situation now, but he could imagine that there were definitely unparalleled powerhouses inside. Now he urgently needed to become a quasi-emperor as soon as possible. After becoming a quasi-emperor, he wouldn't be afraid even if he met a few quasi-emperors. Chapter 55:19. Lin Xian entered the bottom of the 10,000 dragon court and began to cultivate in the endless dragon veins. This was DeLong's suggestion to let Lin Xian wait patiently. Wait for it to come. Who is coming? Lin Xian asked. I have a premonition, but I'm not sure. I'll tell you when he comes. After he comes, the time to become an emperor will come. At that time, the entire world will produce endless strange phenomena. You'll understand soon enough. There will even be many experts appearing, so you have to be careful and prepare early. It seemed that there was going to be an incredible moment. Lin Xian took a deep breath. Was it the time to become an emperor? He clenched his fists. In the past, a great emperor could become an emperor every 10,000 years, but no great emperor had appeared in the past tens of thousands of years. Some people said that the changes in the world made it impossible to produce a great emperor, and this saying was more and more accepted by people. Therefore, many people were in despair. Even someone as strong as Xiajiao didn't seem to have become a great emperor. But now, DeLong said that the time to become an emperor was coming. If it was true, this would be an exciting moment. Lin Xian didn't just want to compete with young geniuses, the Double Crown King and the Triple Crown King. He might even be able to contend against ancient existences like Xiajiao. Therefore, he couldn't relax at all. In the next period of time, the people of Burial Earth could also feel that the atmosphere was unusual. They began to discuss great emperors. They discussed who could become a great emperor in this era. One figure after another appeared in their mouths. For example, Lin Wudi of the younger generation. Then he would really be able to sweep through the 8 desolations, and no one would be able to match him. Originally, there were people like the Triple Crown King and Yao Guang who could compete with him. But now it seemed that they were all inferior. There were also people who said that they couldn't just look at the younger generation. The older generation also had hope. Some top experts didn't appear, but it didn't mean that they didn't exist. Yes, although Long Mu was dead, 2 quasi-emperors appeared last time. Chaos quasi-emperor was also very likely. The other quasi-emperor was the same. There must be other quasi-emperors. In order to become a martial emperor, one had to become a quasi-emperor first. After that, it would be a battle between quasi-emperors. The others could only look up to him. When the Qilin son returned, he was so angry that he went crazy. He quarreled with those elders. However, those elders didn't seem to think highly of him because Lin Wudi had a very high chance of winning. Damn it! The Qilin child gritted his teeth. Was he being underestimated? But there was nothing he could do. Especially when he learned about the true strength of the Triple Crown champion, he became terrified. If Lin Xian could insta-kill Yao Guang, then wouldn't he be able to insta-kill him as well? Thinking of this, his back broke out in cold sweat. Could it be that he had just walked around the gates of hell? Damn it! I want to become a Triple Crown champion too. The Qilin child gritted his teeth. At the same time, the members of the Yi family were also extremely excited. That was because they sensed that the inheritance left behind by the Celestial Emperor was moving. In other words, Leaf Dao Denier was coming out. I wonder what level Wu Dao has reached. They were looking forward to it. Previously, Leaf Dao Denier hadn't participated in the Dragonization Station, nor had he gone to the Dragon Phoenix tomb. Instead, he'd entered the test left behind by the celestial emperor. The Yi family had produced a great emperor, and a celestial emperor at that. He was a terrifying existence, even among great emperors. Therefore, the descendants of the Yi family could all pass the test. However, it was extremely dangerous, with only a slim chance of survival. Leif Daudenier had entered without hesitation. Now that he'd returned, his strength should have undergone an earth-shattering transformation. They waited patiently. 5 days later, the testing door finally opened slowly. A figure walked out. It was Daudenier, cried the Yi family patriarch. The other venerated elders and powerhouses also gathered. Their eyes widened as they looked forward. Daudenier had come out alive. That was great. A huge rock had been lifted from their hearts. How was it, Daudenier? The patriarch and the venerated elders all rushed forward, excited and nervous. Leif Daudenier didn't release any powerful aura, which puzzled them. A smile appeared on Leif Daudenier's face as he said, "Elders, please feel it." He stomped his foot, and the phantom of an immortal king appeared around him, roaring at the sky. In that moment, all of the elders present were sent flying backward. Their blood boiled and their eyes widened. This was the power of a triple crown king. Did you really succeed, Daudenier? That's great. A triple crown king. I can sense that your bloodline has evolved. It's even stronger than before. The Yi family cheered. They saw hope. Leif Daudenier had finally become a triple crown king. In the future, he'd be able to compete with a great emperor. What happened during this time, Leif Daudenier? Elders, please tell me about it. A group of people walked toward the palace. The Yi family was very happy, and news of Leif Daudenier's appearance spread in all directions. The Yi family didn't try to hide it. After all, Leif Daudenier was destined to sweep through the universe. Leif Daudenier had become a triple crown king. Heavens! Another triple crown king had appeared. It was incredible. Countless cries of surprise rang out. He was someone who could compete with Lin Xian. Some of the great emperor clans were incredibly envious. Kuanping Zi, Qilin Zi, and the others were so envious that their eyes turned red. The phoenixes were also incredibly nervous. If Leif Daudenier had come out of seclusion, then what about their princess Feng Jiao? They were also waiting patiently. But on this day, something happened. The patriarch of the phoenixes let out a frenzied roar, shattering the 9 heavens. What happened? The phoenixes were going crazy. The elder phoenix rushed over, and the others were just as shocked. They were extremely puzzled. The patriarch was holding Feng Jiao's soul jade pendant, but cracks had appeared on it. No, this was impossible. The phoenixes shook their heads frantically. Was Feng Jiao in danger? Did she fail the test? Let's go to the testing grounds. They all headed toward the testing grounds. The testing grounds were hazy and they couldn't get there. All they could do was scream, "Your Highness, are you all right? Your Highness Feng Jiao." One cry of surprise after another rang out. At that moment, the testing grounds opened and a feather flew out. It was Feng Jiao's feather. The patriarch caught it instantly. What happened? An illusory face appeared from the feather, followed by a weak voice. From now on, leave it to Qingqing. Tell him to protect the phoenixes. As soon as the voice fell, the soul jade pendant in the patriarch's hand cracked. At the same time, a rain of blood fell from the 9 heavens. No, the phoenixes went crazy and they all fell to their knees. At the same time, the entire buried earth was shocked. They looked up at the sky. Chapter 55:20. The people of the Gu family frowned. It seemed like another powerful elite had fallen. The people of the Kuan-Peng race side. Was the Phoenix race going to be defeated? On the other side, the people of the Yi family also sensed it. Yi Wu Dao and the others looked into the distance. I've heard that the princess of the Phoenix clan is the same as you. She has already entered the ancient testing ground. Could it be that she didn't make it out? Yi Wudao's eyes flickered. He said that the ancient testing ground was filled with death. Even he almost didn't make it out. Perhaps Feng Jiu would never make it out. There was a hint of pity in his voice. After all, they were all people who had entered a desperate situation for power. However, he had succeeded, while the other party had failed. At this moment, all the families and sects on Burial Earthstar were paying attention to the Phoenix race. In the end, the news spread from the Phoenix race. Princess Feng Jiu had failed the ancient testing ground. Another elite had fallen. Countless people exclaimed. First, the Dragon Prince had been killed. Now, Feng Jiu had failed the test and fallen. It seemed like even the princes and princesses weren't safe in this era of great battles. Everyone could feel the pressure, especially the group of experts who stood at the very top. They were under a lot of pressure because the battle between the great emperors had to be fought over countless bones and seas of blood. Who would be the stepping stone? Who would be able to laugh at the world? They didn't know. The people of the Divine Union naturally received the news. Murong Qingqing's expression changed. She said, "I have to go back." She found Lin Xian and explained the situation. Lin Xian took a deep breath. "I'll go back with you." The two of them soared into the sky and headed towards the Phoenix race. At the moment, the Phoenix race was covered in blood, and everyone was in despair. On this day, two figures arrived in the sky. They looked up indifferently. When they saw that it was Murong Qingqing, their bodies shook slightly. Princess Qingqing had also returned. Although Murong Qingqing wasn't the princess, she was a seven-colored phoenix. Her previous status was extraordinary, second only to the princess. Therefore, they were very excited when Murong Qingqing returned. More importantly, Feng Jiu's feather said that she wanted to hand everything over to Murong Qingqing. "I'm back." Murong Qingqing's face was also pale. She wondered if Feng Nine really hadn't come out. The old phoenix personally came and brought him to the testing ground. Up ahead, the patriarch had also arrived, as well as some grand elders and core elders. They gathered together. The clan leader sighed. "Feng Jiu wouldn't come out. This is what he gave you." He took out a feather. Murong Qingqing's hand trembled. She could sense that this was Phoenix Nine's feather. After she took it, a voice came from inside. In the future, the Phoenix race will be handed over to Qingqing. Hearing this voice, Murong Qingqing started to cry as well. She and Feng Nine often sparred before, so it could be said that they had a good relationship. He just didn't expect that the other party would actually reach this step. She clenched her fists. He took a deep breath and looked around. The eyes of the surrounding elders were also red. Their eyes were filled with despair. Murong Qingqing said, "I'm very sad about what happened to Feng Nine, but there's nothing we can do. This is her choice. Let's respect it. As for Feng Ix's request, don't worry. As long as I, Murong Qingqing, am around, the phoenixes will always exist." This was a kind of promise. This made many phoenixes heave a sigh of relief. They felt despair when the crown princess died. However, Murong Qingqing was also incomparably terrifying. She was already a double crown champion, and her future achievements were also unparalleled. Even if she couldn't become a great emperor, she would probably be able to stand at the peak of the universe. Bless the phoenixes. At this moment, Lin Xian also walked out. He said, "Qingqing's matter is my matter. With me around, the phoenixes will be fine. In the future, when I reach the peak, the phoenixes will enjoy endless glory." As soon as those words came out, everyone's hearts trembled, because the young man who spoke was a top-notch genius. He was the first in the dragon transformation stage, the young Triple Crown champion. He was the existence who severely injured the Purple Mansion realm, defeated the 10,000 Dragons Court, and even killed the Triple Crown champion. He was now a popular candidate to become a great emperor. If what he said was true, then the phoenixes would really have nothing to worry about. Many thanks to Lin Gongzi, the elders of the phoenixes took the lead and bowed respectfully to Lin Xian. Then, these people started to discuss. The phoenixes could be considered to have completely joined the divine union. This was very important. In the past, the divine union only had the remote antiquity families. Although they had a good relationship with the Yi family hadn't joined the divine union. Now, all the hopes of the phoenixes were placed on Morong Qingqing. Given the relationship between Qingqing and Lin Xian, they were bound to join the divine union. The news spread out in an instant, and the world was in an uproar. The divine union was already incomparably terrifying. Now that the great emperor families had joined, it would probably reach a whole new level. It might even surpass the great emperor. Some families that had a grudge against Lin Xian, such as the Purple Mansion realm, were even more desperate when they heard this news. Why did it feel like Lin Wuti was unbeatable? Everything would have to wait until the palace master came out of seclusion. They could only place their hopes on the palace master now. Yi Wudao of the Yi family also came out. He was prepared to exchange pointers with Lin Xian. Furthermore, they hadn't seen each other in a long time. The two old friends wanted to catch up. When Lin Xian returned, he found Yi Wudao waiting for him in the divine union. "Wudao, you've finally come out." Lin Xian's lips curled up. There was a frightening glint in his eyes as he looked at Yi Wudao. "You've also broken through and become a Triple Crown champion." Yi Wudao nodded. "It was just luck. I heard that you could have killed a Triple Crown champion long ago." Lin Xian smiled. There are strong and weak Triple Crown champions. Even though Ziming had become a Triple Crown champion long ago, he was still a Triple Crown champion. However, his strength was definitely inferior to Lin Xian's. Yi Wudao asked, "Do you want exchange pointers?" Lin Xian said sure. Both of them emitted a cold aura. The people from the divine union were also surprised. Were they going to make a move? Although it was just an exchange of pointers, it would definitely be earth-shattering. Boom! In the next instant, the two of them attacked. Both of them had extremely strong physiques and cultivated the great emperor's ancient scripture. Their strength was shocking. The surrounding people were all pushed back. They couldn't resist at all. Fortunately, the two of them were just exchanging pointers and restrained their strength. Otherwise, they would have been reduced to ashes. In the end, Yi Wudao was forced back 2 steps. Lin Xian stopped, and the two of them stopped exchanging pointers. Yi Wudao said, "Looks like you're still better." Next, the two of them drank and chatted, each of them sharing their experiences. At the same time, in a desolate mountain range, there was a terrifying aura. The mountain range was too vast and had a desolate aura. Everywhere it passed, no living thing dared to stay. This was the desolate mountain range, the forbidden land of death. At that moment, another person walked out of the desolate mountain range. Chapter 55:21. The person who walked out was called Huangqing. After he came out, he went to a few great emperor clans. Those from the emperor clans were also on guard. The elders of the emperor clans didn't dare to be negligent. After this matter spread out, the other people were also shocked. The legend of the desolate tomb also appeared in front of everyone. Someone said, "Who is this person? He's so powerful that even the emperor clans have to be careful?" That's right. Other than Lin Wuti, I haven't seen the emperor clans be so careful with anyone. An older generation figure spoke because he had walked out of the desolate tomb. What was the desolate tomb? Was it very powerful? The young geniuses didn't understand, so they asked, "How was it compared to the divine union?" The older generation powerhouse said that the desolate tomb was probably more mysterious than the divine union, because it was a forbidden land. When these words came out, everyone was in an uproar. They could understand the words Forbidden Land of Life because Mount Eternal was a forbidden land of life. Mount Eternal had even produced 10 Double Crown winners at once, which shocked countless people and even made them feel despair. Even the great Emperor clans couldn't produce 10 Double Crown winners at once. It was already not bad if one appeared. It could be said that the power of the Forbidden Land was very terrifying, even above the Divine Union. No wonder. Now they also understood why the great Emperor clans had to be so careful. It turned out that these people were from the Forbidden Land. At the same time, some powerhouses gasped. First, it was Mount Eternal. Now it was the Desolate Tomb. The Forbidden Land had appeared one after another. Was it a sign of something? No one else could enter the Forbidden Land, but there were living beings inside. What kind of secret was hidden inside? Everyone was very curious about this question. However, this time, even some of the older generation figures couldn't answer. However, an expert from the Ground Clan walked out. They said that in the Forbidden Land, there was a mortal supremacy. A mortal supremacy. When these words came out, countless people gasped. Who dared to call themselves a supremacy in this world? However, there was actually a mortal supremacy in the Forbidden Land. What kind of existence was a mortal supremacy? How could it compare to the Great Emperor? They only knew that the Great Emperor stood at the peak of the universe. As for this mortal supremacy, they had never heard of it. It was hard to say. Finally, the people from the Yi family also stood out and spoke. When these words were spoken, everyone was even more shocked. Heavens! Could it be that the human supreme beings were even more powerful than great emperors? No way, this was impossible. The elder of the Yi clan said. He wasn't stronger than the great emperor, but he was a strong enemy of the great emperor. I'm sure you've heard of the battle in the darkness. Hearing this, some of the experts from the various clans narrowed their eyes. More than 100,000 years ago, a forbidden land of life appeared and swept through a region. At that time, the entire universe was shrouded in darkness, and no one was a match for it. Everything in the forbidden land of life would be reduced to ashes. However, some human experts appeared out of nowhere. He fought against the supreme existences in the forbidden land of life. That battle was earth-shattering and had spread throughout the entire universe. Countless living beings were destroyed, but in the end, they managed to stop the devouring of the darkness. I remember that the one who fought back then was the great emperor of the Gu clan, the Void Emperor. Someone spoke. That's right, it was the Gu clan's great emperor. The battle back then was simply too terrifying. It was said that even the martial monarchs were injured. Everyone was even more shocked. A mortal supremacy could compete with a great emperor, or even be on par with a great emperor. Even Lin Xian was shocked. He originally thought that a mortal supremacy was only a quasi-emperor level existence. But now, it seemed that it wasn't the case at all. The forbidden land of life was more terrifying than he had imagined. He asked DeLong said, "You can ask your friends. Their ancestors are all great emperors." Lin Xian asked Yi Wudao. Yi Wudao said, "Indeed, the mortal supremacy in the forbidden land of life is very powerful. My Yi clan's celestial emperor, Yi also fought with a mortal supremacy in the forbidden land of life back then. Although he was able to suppress the mortal supremacy in the end, it was said that it was also a difficult battle." Lin Xian was shocked. He asked Yan Ryu. Yan Ryu said, "My ancestor, Emperor Qing, also fought with a mortal supremacy. That battle was earth-shattering, and it seemed to be a draw." Lin Xian was even more shocked. Was a mortal supremacy really so powerful? But that shouldn't be. The extreme Dao weapon from before didn't say that a mortal supremacy was a peak existence in the human world. And great emperors didn't belong to the human world? Lin Xian asked DeLong again. DeLong said mortal supremacy is a taboo existence. Mortal supremacy is just a name, not a division of realms. You might have even heard of a real mortal supremacy. Lin Xian was even more puzzled after hearing that. If he really wanted to improve his strength, he could go to the forbidden land of life to take a look. De Long said that he might really have a chance to see a mortal supremacy. After he came, those mortal supremacies probably wouldn't be able to sit still. At that time, there would be an even more terrifying battle that would sweep everything away. Lin Xian took a deep breath. It seemed that the road ahead was very dangerous. On the other side, after Huang Qing visited a few great emperor clans, he held a banquet in the name of Huang Ling. He invited the top clans and powerhouses. Lin Xian was also on the invitation list. For a moment, the world was in an uproar. No one knew what Huang Ling wanted to do. The people from the Divine Union also frowned. Bai Susu said, "Don't tell me they want to catch us all in one fell swoop." Lin Xian snorted coldly. Would he dare? No matter how strong his forbidden land of life was, the other great emperor clans were not to be trifled with. This time, we all brought great emperor weapons. I don't think he has the ability to do that. Yen Ruyu said that's true. However, there's a precondition that the mortal supremacy doesn't take action. If the mortal supremacy of Huang Ling takes action personally, we probably won't be able to stop him even if we bring great emperor weapons. After all, we aren't great emperors, not even boundary emperors. Although that was the case, Lin Xian and the others still decided to go and investigate. Not only that, but the other great emperor clans and remote antiquity clans were also prepared to go. After all, no one dared to offend a forbidden land of life. Was there really a mortal supremacy in the forbidden land of life? They didn't know. If there really was one, he would be able to sweep the world. They had to give the other party face. This time, the banquet was held above the demon sea. The black sea carried a monstrous demonic chi. It made everyone's hair stand on end. Fortunately, the people who came this time were all powerhouses, so they were able to withstand it. There was an island above the demon sea. It was formed completely by white bones. It was said that this white bone had an extraordinary origin. It was formed by the white bones of a very famous immemorial era powerhouse after his death. After millions of years, it hadn't been destroyed. Now, it was one of the few places in the Demon Sea where one could stop and rest. This time, Huang Ling was holding the banquet on this white bone island. Chapter 55-22. Above the Demon Sea, terrifying powerhouses appeared one after another. There are also terrifying demonic beasts that swept across the land. These were people from the remote antiquity families, the emperor families, and the top sections. From above, powerful figures walked out one after another. They descended from the sky. They descended towards the Demon Sea. The Demon Sea was huge and boundless. Even the island was extremely vast. One could imagine how terrifying the powerhouse who had died back then was. Some people even guessed that it was formed by the corpse of a quasi-emperor after his death. The Gu family, the Qilin tribe, and the Kuin Peng tribe had all come. After they arrived, they discussed in low voices. They did not know why Huang Ling had gathered them. After all, when the other party had gone to their family, he had not mentioned anything specific. Although they could not guess, they were not afraid. After all, these emperor families had brought their emperor weapons this time. At the same time, a huge sword flew over from the sky. There were many people standing on it. It was Lin Xian and the others. The people from the Divine Union had also arrived and landed on the Bone Island. Bai Susu and the others were amazed. What a mysterious island. Lin Xian said that they were free to go and take a look. They could gather at the banquet. These people went to other parts of the island to have fun. Lin Xian also brought Murong Qingqing and Yen Ruyu to have fun on the Bone Island. Lin Xian even went to the Demon Sea. The origin of the Demon Sea was extraordinary. It was said that it was related to the Demon Emperor. Back then, The demon emperor had fought with someone, and blood had dyed the sea, forming the demon sea. However, in the end, the demon emperor had killed the strong enemy and stood at the peak of the universe. As for who the enemy was back then, no one knew now. However, the demon sea remained, emitting a monstrous demonic aura. There are countless living beings in the demon sea. It could be said that it was like the demon realm. Lin Xian went to the demon sea and quickly activated the illusion demon scripture. It indeed had the aura of the demon emperor. Back then, the demon emperor had bathed the sea in blood. No one knew who had done it. At the same time, there was a terrifying light dancing above the demon sea. It was a demon ship. There were many figures standing on it, all of them wearing black battle armor. The leader was a man with horns on his head and an extraordinary aura. They were from the Sea Demon clan. The man at the front was His Highness, the Sea Demon. At this moment, they had also come to participate in the banquet. Someone at the side said, "This time, quite a number of experts had gathered. I heard that the families of those great emperors will be there. So what? Our Highness isn't any weaker than the geniuses of the great emperor clans. That's for sure. I've already become a crown king." Furthermore, in this Devil Sea, I've even found some fragments left behind by the Devil Emperor. If I can fully comprehend it, my strength can still increase. His Highness, Sea Demon, clenched his fists. Apart from a handful of people, we can't afford to offend them. We don't care about the others. Yes, an old man at the side said. There were a few youngsters that they definitely couldn't provoke. For example, Lin Wudi, Yao Guang, and those from the Light Clan. These were all extremely terrifying existences. They should also be participating. Don't worry, those people will definitely be with the Emperor Clan's clan leader. We won't have much chance of meeting them. Just as they were talking, someone suddenly exclaimed, "Look, we're almost at the Island of Bones." There were actually people beside them. They should be young juniors from some remote antiquity family or sect that had come to follow them. One of them was actually so beautiful. On this spaceship, many people exclaimed. The eyes of the leader, His Highness Sea Demon, also lit up. This was because he had discovered two peerless beauties. These two peerless fairies were rarely seen in their lives. After he saw them, his eyes immediately turned red. In the next moment, he actually soared into the air and flew forward. His Highness, an old man, exclaimed. A middle-aged man at the side said, "Don't worry." They appeared in such a remote sea area and didn't have any experts following them. They should only be ordinary remote antiquity families. Our Sea Demon clan doesn't take such people seriously. Are the two fairies lost? His Highness Sea Demon came to the surface of the sea in front of them and asked with a smile. A handsome smile appeared on his face. Murong Qingqing and Yen Ruyu glanced at each other, then retracted their gazes and ignored him. They didn't know each other. Moreover, the other party's aura was only that of a crown king. In their opinion, he was too weak. His Highness Sea Demon asked a few more questions, trying to get closer to the two. However, the two of them ignored him. Yen Ryu said, "Let's go back." They all came to Lin Xian's side, which made His Highness Sea Demon's face immediately sink. Damn it! He snorted coldly, and with a flash of his body, he stopped these people. At the same time, many experts of the Sea Demon clan followed over. They completely blocked Lin Xian and the others. Lin Xian frowned. He said coldly, "Get lost." Ha ha ha. The geniuses of the Sea Demon clan immediately laughed after hearing that. Did you hear that? This kid actually told us to get lost? Who does he think he is? Kid, I've taken a liking to these two fairies. I want them to chat with me. If you get out of my sight, immediately I can spare your life. His Highness Sea Demon waved his hand and said coldly. He was courting death. Lin Xian shook his head and sighed. His Highness Sea Demon was also angry. Attack, cripple this kid. Don't hurt the two fairies. As soon as her voice fell, Two burly men walked out from behind her. The sea demon water under their feet turned into a monstrous light and slashed towards Lin Xian. In an instant, Lin Xian was enveloped. With a boom, the sky collapsed and the earth cracked. His Highness, Sea Demon, snorted coldly. You can't even withstand a single blow. How dare you compete with my Sea Demon clan? However, his smile soon disappeared, and even a hint of fear appeared, because he found that under the sea, Lin Xian was intact. This made him frown. He was actually an expert. Lin Xian was also angry. With a wave of his hand, the two sea demon powerhouses in front of him instantly turned into ashes. Not only that, the four people behind him also turned into a bloody mist. There was a rain of blood between heaven and earth, making the surrounding people feel as if they were facing a great enemy. Protect His Highness! With an angry roar, they all took action. The young man in front of them was actually an expert. His Highness, Sea Demon, roared angrily and killed this kid. Suppress the other two fairies for me. I'm going to take them to the spaceship. With an angry roar, the surrounding dozens of experts took action. In their opinion, the other party only had 3 people. No matter how powerful they were, it didn't matter. Go to hell. The monstrous seawater with demonic qi enveloped Lin Xian and the other two. Lin Xian received more power. However, these forces were unable to withstand a single blow in front of him. With a wave of his hand, he directly tore open a crack in the void. All these forces were swallowed up. In the next moment, a demonic seal appeared in his hand, and he slapped it out. More than a dozen powerhouses were turned into ashes. Even His Highness, Sea Demon, vomited blood and flew backward. Chapter 55-23. Oh no, His Highness is in danger. The expressions of the experts behind them changed. They immediately flew over. They thought that they were just 3 ordinary people, so they didn't care. But now, it seemed that they were too careless. Countless elders came to the vicinity. Your Highness, are you all right? Some elders took out elixirs and swallowed them. Some of them stared at Lin Xian with murderous intent. Kneel down and accept your death. His Highness High Mo roared crazily. Kill him. I must kill him. Let him suffer a fate worse than death. Lin Xian's face darkened. He stared at High Mo and said, I wanted to spare your life, but you dared to provoke me. No one in the world can save you now. The surrounding elders sneered. What a joke. Who do you think you are? How dare you boast like that? Don't you know that we're from the Sea Demon clan? We're the kings of the demonic ocean. Oh, is that so? You're the kings, but the great Emperor clan doesn't dare to be arrogant in front of me. So what if you're a mere king? Lin Xian stood with his hands behind his back. His eyes were cold as if he was a god looking down on the world. At this moment, the surrounding experts' souls were shaken. But soon someone sneered. The great Emperor clan bowed down in front of you? Kid, who are you? Do you think you're Lin Wudy? Lin Wudy is a supreme expert who is respected by countless people on Whitebone Island. He's standing with the great Emperor clan's patriarch. What about you? You don't even have an expert protecting you. Maybe you're a genius from some clan, but you don't have the right to be arrogant in front of me. Kid, I'll let you know how powerful the Demonic Ocean clan is. The experts walked over with murderous intent. Murong Qingqing and the others frowned. They wanted to attack too, but at this moment, a stream of light flew over from afar. There were endless flames on it, and it turned into a figure. It was an elder with Qilin scales on his body. Terrifying flames were burning on his body. The entire demonic ocean was suppressed. The demonic ocean clan's pupils shrank when they saw this. This aura, could it be the legendary Qilin clan? Heavens, this is the clan of an immortal emperor. Why is he here? Could it be that the battle earlier had alarmed the other party? Thinking of this, the demonic sea beasts hurriedly withdrew their laws. His Highness Sea Devil took a deep breath, turned around and bowed respectfully. "May I ask if you're a senior of the Chelan clan?" "I am His Highness of the Sea Demon clan. Greetings to Senior Chelan." The other Sea Demon clan elders also saluted one after another, greeting Lord Chelan. They did not dare to be arrogant in front of a great Emperor clan. The old Chelan in the sky descended from the sky. He was expressionless and ignored these people. The Sea Demon clan didn't have the qualifications to enter his eyes. As he walked past these people, His Highness the Sea Demon's face stiffened. The others also frowned. How arrogant! They were the kings of this sea. Who dared to be rude to them? However, the other party dared to do so. They didn't even dare to say anything. At the same time, they were shocked. What did the Chelan race's expert come here for? Looking for something? They all turned their heads to look. The old Chelan walked past their heads and descended in front of them. In the next moment, a smile appeared on the other party's face. It was so brilliant that the other party actually cupped his fists and bowed slightly. "Haha, Lin Gongzi, you're actually here? I've really been looking for you for a long time. Lin Gongzi is waiting for you. Please follow me." Seeing this scene, the brains of the surrounding people were about to split open. What? This was impossible. His Highness, the Sea Demon's pupils shrank. He jumped up directly. The Chelan clan in their eyes was actually fawning over a young man at this moment. And this young man, they didn't put him in their eyes before. Heavens, earth, what's going on? What kind of identity does this young man in front of me have? Isn't he just an ant? Why does he have to be so respectful? Finally, His Highness the Sea Demon couldn't help but exclaim. Hearing this, the old Chelan turned his head and snorted coldly. The bodies of the surrounding people instantly split open as they spat out blood and flew backward. His Highness the Sea Demon flew backward with a pale face. The old Chelan snorted coldly. "How dare you be rude to Lin Gongzi? Do you want to die?" These people gasped. Could it be that this guy was the Chelan son of the Chelan clan? If that was the case, they would have kicked an iron plate. But that shouldn't be the case. The Chelan son, the Emperor's son, had a supreme bloodline. They could feel it. But why didn't they feel it now? "Lord Chelan, who is this young master?" The great elder of the Sea Demon clan cupped his fists and asked. The Chelan snorted coldly. "You don't have the right to know." After saying that, he looked forward again. "Lin Gongzi, did they offend you?" Yen Ryu frowned. Not only did they offend him, but they also wanted to suppress and kill us. As soon as these words came out, the old Chelan was instantly enraged. He waved his hand and Chelan fire flew out. Hundreds of Sea Demon clan powerhouses were turned into ashes. "Don't you want to live anymore? How dare you attack Lin Gongzi?" Seeing this scene, the surrounding Sea Demon clan members all knelt on the ground. Too strong. They were the kings of this sea, but in front of the Emperor clan they were ants. The other party could destroy them with a raise of his hand. Thinking of this, these people all knelt on the ground, begging Lord Chelan to spare their lives. The old Chelan snorted coldly. His body carried a monstrous pressure. "Lin Gongzi, I'll help you destroy them." After saying that, he stomped his foot and the Chelan step appeared. The entire demon sea was set off waves. Countless Sea Demon clan members' bodies split open, turning into a bloody mist. "Run!" The great elder shouted angrily, and the others fled in all directions. The Chelan roared angrily and used his peerless divine ability. How could these people escape? Their bodies shattered one by one. The great elder didn't even have time to scream before he died. "Damn it, I'm not willing." The Sea Demon Royal Highness roared towards the sky. He launched his final attack. A fragment appeared in his hand. It was black and dark red. Obviously, there was blood on it and it had long dried up. He burned his life force and struck out with all his strength to resist this fragment. However, it was useless. Under the Cheelant's roar, its body and soul were destroyed. However, this fragment didn't shatter. It seemed to cut through the void and slashed forward. The old Cheelan snorted coldly. With a wave of his sleeve, monstrous laws danced. But in the next moment, with a bang, his sleeve was torn apart. This made the old Cheelant's pupils shrink. What was this? He reached out to grab it, but the fragment actually cut open his palm. The old Cheelan was too shocked. Treasure! His eyes erupted with a cold light, and he was about to attack. At this moment, someone was faster than him. Lin Xian struck out a Taiji diagram and enveloped the front, directly enveloping the fragment. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.